It's been a fairly traumatic start to the campaign. Are we going to do some recording?
Yeah, it's going.
All right. A fairly traumatic start to the campaign, and we're no closer to resolving any of the issues that we set out to do. A heavy mist had fallen over our settlement, and we resolved to discover exactly what was causing it. After stumbling through the mist, we discovered lands that didn't seem familiar to us, people that didn't seem familiar to us. And we've now stumbled forward along this old, only vaguely familiar road towards a destination that we're no longer sure even exists. We've taken refuge in a clearing to camp for the night. The days seem much shorter than they should be. And as we camp for the night, the clouds which have lingered over the countryside, over the forest throughout the day, seem to part, as if the starlight was able to penetrate clouds in a way that sunlight could not. And as these clouds go from being a mass, a dark grey mass, to becoming more like ragged strips of cloth across the black night sky, you're able to see stars twinkle. No sign of the moon yet; it hasn't risen, but or if it does rise, it remains blocked by the cloud. And throughout the night, you maintain your various watches and feel the pressure of wolves encroaching upon your camp, 100 feet or so off the road in the largest clearing that you've found so far. You've got a massive blazing fire going, and in spite of the moisture, the dampness of the wood, you've managed to sustain this massive fire throughout the night, blazing like some incredible beacon, uh, alone in the countryside, single candle in a room. And even had the wolves grown closer, you spotted one at one point, injured in fact, as you drove it off. But now they've returned. You've seen bats fly by the thousand, and most of the bats seem to be coming from the direction in which you're heading, more or less. The direction of the road that you travel is where this flood of 1,000 bats has come from. Many of the bats have settled in the boughs in the trees around where you're camping, and they've been screeching all night at each other. Um, Only further disturbing what little sleep you're able to get. But now you're all awake, for the wolves have encroached upon your position once again, this time outnumbering you 2 to 1. And your donkey is awake and nervous, but stout of heart. And you see these wolves creeping to the edge of the clearing where the trees are able to offer them some level of protection. Some of you have just woken up, some of you have not. That'll mean that some of you are armored and some of you are not. Um, the wolves make no immediate attempt to charge you, but you can see that their numbers are now great enough that they've become bold, and the fear that you normally associate with wolves just isn't present here.
Are we able to act?
If you look at each other and gauging each other's intentions and opinions, you are able to ascertain or to discuss among yourselves for at least a brief second how you want to deal with this situation.
While everyone's discussed, we've got a fire, right, set up.
We do. Blazing fire, which is why the whole place is illuminated. Didn't worry about dynamic lighting. The whole place is lit up from your fire.
Could you
Yeah,
bring some water?
Oh, of course,
I'm
wrong.
gonna I'm gonna dip my torch in the fire and light.
The
So I'm
wolves snarl at you, their eyes reflected in the flame that you bring.
spear in one.
And
torch in
Ton's
the
also
other.
gonna strike up a torch and keep it in his hand. Draws reef.
Wolf snaps its jowls at you, not quite a bark, but a gasping snap.
Whose watch was it when they came?
I think it was mine and
Anton's.
And the
Anton's.
yeah.
I'm gonna pull out some holy water, and I'm gonna bless Mindarda's, Sven, and Anton.
The elf is also conscious, having finished their meditation.
Kind of just like step down here.
A couple of the wolves snap at you. One of them darts towards the nearest, towards a closer bush.
Augustine will be up in the cottage with his short bow ready.
You notice the wolves stick to the forest. I suppose it offers them the best sort of cover, but they're particularly cunning, these beasts.
Throw some fire their way.
Alright. I'll Dukovich will cast. Where is it? That one. Catapult. Can he catapult a flaming piece of stick, to this guy, this area? Oops, sorry. Over here.
Is it a warning shot, or are you attempting to injure it?
I didn't injure it.
All right, roll to attack.
And roll for
He just
bushfire.
makes a dex save.
Excellent.
Catapult.
Yeah, with catapult.
Alright, I'll check that it hasn't got its Never Whisper on. Never Whisper. Alright. Okay, so the wolf attempts to dodge out of the way, but the speed of your catapult, the trajectory, is not something that it's expecting at all, and it sets it immediately on fire. Roll for damage. It was flaming, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of the flaming pieces of wood in the fire.
Excellent. So it does 12 damage with an additional 1 point of fire damage. And the wolf is set on fire and starts running around panicked as it burns alive. All the other wolves take that as their incentive to break the wall and attack. Perhaps you expected the wolves to retreat at this sure sign of aggression, but it's done quite the opposite.
Hungry wolves don't fear death.
But now they have cooked meat ready for them.
Good point.
Maybe they're planning on eating us raw while they let the cooked meat sit for a bit. You know,
Yeah.
it's a
Rest.
bad idea to eat it
Fed
right
to
out of the
smoke.
oven.
We're
I
level
think
1
that's
still, correct? Sorry?
We are.
Yeah,
We
just-
indeed are. And we make tasty morsels. Only the donkey will survive this. Who's going to control the donkey?
I guess I will. I
Alright.
chose the donkey.
Alright, you may enter the donkey on the initiative.
I need to find pumpkin. There we go.
Perfect. Don't even have to readjust it. Pumpkin
yeah.
holds her ground. Alright. Alright, Anton, the wolf is set on fire and the others start snapping and howling and charging like war horses.
Anton is going to, as a bonus action, inspire, let's say, Dukovich. So he gets a D6.
Okay.
And I gotta check my spell range.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Works. The wolf hears whispers. It hears its name and it begins to panic. Assume the DC is higher than 12? Yeah.
Ooh, very nice.
13.
The wolf begins to bleed from the nose and from the ears and other orifices besides, and in the sheer terror, it runs off into the darkness whence it can die. You don't see it, you just see it rush off into the bushes as its eyes begin to bleed. And that wolf is never heard of again. Oh, whoops, I deleted them from the initiative. Well done. Oh, no.
11, I think it was.
There it is, yeah. I thought I did, but it's still there. Great. Alright. Oh, Gus.
Yes, I will, seeing them charge, I will, let me scout this out. Yes, I will go after this one. So I will loose a arrow in its direction. In its general direction. Forget the sneak attack, I forgot to turn it off.
Indeed, it is merely its general direction. It does not hit it exactly.
Shit. That's all I can do.
Young Sven.
Sven shall move down beside Ellen and hold an action to attack a charging wolf with his.
Oh, it snarls. It's coming for you, old man. Don't you worry. Dukovic Ferry.
Durish kind of assessing the situation, sees how many there are,
So
and he
many.
thinks probably the best idea to clear one side so that everyone can kind of keep focus on the other three sides. And he's going to, I guess he's going to take a shot at this wolf, so it's the next
Tactics.
one closest.
Excellent idea.
And he just used his light crossbow.
Boom. It's a great shot, considering the wolf moves at a speed faster than man. A decisive hit, wounding. It almost crippling. It causes the wolf to yelp, but it does not stop its momentum.
Durish just quickly reloads his weapon and lines up another shot, and that's all he can do.
Alright. I don't think they move 50, I think they move, 40. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The wolf is just barely out of range. It dodges as it approaches.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they move in, but they don't run in wildly. They still maintain their agility as they encroach. It's they're particularly cunning in their strategies. The ones attacking Sven, of course, need not hold back. You anticipate one coming straight for you and drive your spear into what part of its body?
Probably the belly as it lunges for me.
Wounding, a terrible wound, and as its kin comes in and snaps at you, they time their attacks, both going for the ankle simultaneously, making it much more difficult for you to defend. Each have its advantage on their bite. 13, does that hit?
yes, mate.
No, make us. Oh, does 10 damage knock you to the ground? Does it knock you out?
Yep.
All right, and the second one has advantage. It goes for the throat. You have failed 2 death saving throws. The third wolf bounds in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And although it's cautious, it sees its prey is down, and so it leaps towards the old man, intending to tear him apart, at least salvage a leg or an arm before the other wolves take it all. However, those on other sides have their own problems. You're being charged, Mandatus, by a savage wolf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But not before its companion joins in. And trying to stay out of the reach of Voreg Stonehide, these 2 wolves close in upon you, snapping at you, both of them lunging, almost simultaneous, like a phalanx, like trained soldiers. And these wolves lunge toward you, each with advantage. Does a 19 hit, and does 8 drop you?
Grady is not here.
Does a Great will not drop Grady, and so he has, but he is fighting for his life as the second wolf comes in and knocks him to the ground and begins savaging him. The drow is down. And yet the assault continues. 2 wolves launch themselves towards the wagon. It's just a cart, isn't it? Just an open top cart.
I
Yeah,
believe so, yeah.
All right, and so the wolf leaps up onto the edge of the cart, balancing itself delicately snapping with its aggressive jaws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But the second wolf can't quite make it. It nonetheless leaps up there, though, to give its kin some assistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this final wolf, which is already injured from the previous encounter, the scout from the last attack, it maintains a little level of caution, and so it tries to stay nimble on its feet while the others boldly run in and tear poor Augustin to shreds. Advantage. 6 damage. You're still standing?
Still standing.
And 10.
Yeah, I'm down.
The wolves are shredding you to pieces. Vorag Stonehide, this quest is over before it began.
Not if he has anything to say about it. He'll step to the side of Mendatus's body. He would like to rage with his bonus action. And raising his great axe high, he's going to cut down the one on the left closest to Mendatus. Like using his body to... Oh, man.
But the wolf is too nimble, and it steps to one side as your sword digs deep into the ground, carving into the soft earth, but not cutting so much as a hair off the beast.
That's my turn.
Elenwe Fenore, it seems that it's over.
Yeah, there's like just a shocked look of like, what the fuck is going on? She's gonna step over Sven here, and as she does so, she's gonna use her action to make a medicine check to try and stabilize Sven.
Alright, a medicine check. Alright, DC is 10.
Oh boy, there it is.
How do you stop this man who's being ripped to pieces? Like it's like a
Yeah.
pit bulls at a baby, you know?
So
how
there's
do you
like
defend such a person?
there's a wolf at his throat. There's a wolf at his leg. So like the boot just comes into the head of the wolf on the throat,
Damn.
kicks him off, and
Nice.
kind of just get them off of him while I kind of push through and try to put myself in front of them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They spit the old man out and they look at you. You see them sniffing, and the slavering lips tell you that they would prefer fresher flesh.
Yeah, sweet. That's their turn, yeah.
Sweet is a poor choice of words.
Yeah.
Pumpkin.
More like
Pumpkin,
savory.
please help us.
Come now,
Um,
pumpkin.
Does Pumpkin get to trample?
The pumpkin has any attacks that a donkey has.
Alright, so she has
Uh,
hooves, yeah.
I assume that her stats have been modified already. I would hope.
Yeah, she has 18 HP.
She's a tough little donkey.
Okay, she's gonna walk forward and just hit the closest wolf that was
Uh,
nearby.
how does pumpkin take care of this beast?
Rears back a little bit, but they're only short. Like donkeys are only just like medium size, so
Yeah,
she's
they're not
like
very big.
sort of just like kicking forward with her front hooves. 17 to
Crunch.
hit. It won't. I don't think. Will it roll the damage if I click it?
Should.
Yeah, it does. Hell yeah.
Bam. All right. You shatter the skull of this wolf, and it lets out a yelp, but then turns to Pumpkin, ready to inflict its fury upon her instead. Donkey is more natural meat than man. We will kill you too. Don't worry. Anton, it seems that you may be the last to die.
Yeah, holy shit. Anton is going to hit that wolf with the dissonant whispers.
Which one?
The one directly above Vorg.
All right. Okay. Come on, wolf. The wolf yelps as it begins to bleed from the eyes and from the ears, and you fill it with a tremendous amount of terror. Um, it can't understand exactly what's going on, and the power of your magic is terrifying to this poor native creature.
And he's going to run and kind of go back to back with Vorg.
Uh-oh.
Augustus.
Death save.
Yeah.
Oh shit! He's also going to inspire Vorg as a bonus action.
All right.
I think this is the first death save I've ever made in one of your games. Okay, success.
It's not even
Yeah,
third
you know.
combat too.
Great success.
So you've just been tussled with by these wolves who leap up onto the edge of the wagon. The whole wagon tilts as the extra 150, 200 pounds suddenly leers the wagon in one direction, the cart, and it throws you straight into the jaws of one of the wolves. It snaps at you, it shakes you to one side like a doll, casts you aside, and leaves you to bleed. Unfortunately for the wolf, at least, most of the damage that you suffered was to your bones rather than to your blood. And so you're not leaking any great amount of blood, but it remains to be seen whether the internal wound will prove fatal nonetheless. No one tried to. Oh, we were stabilized, weren't you, old Sven?
Yeah.
Stabilized. All right. Old Sven. You are walking through a great misty field. There is nothing to see, just an endless plain of, you're not sure if it's salt or sand or ash and mist as far as the eye can see. And yet for some reason, you don't quite feel alone. What do you do?
Probably if I've got my weapons, grip my weapons a bit harder. Keep walking, you know. Not go by standing here. It feels
The air
like
feels,
there's more people here, so
yeah,
might as well just keep moving forward.
the air feels cold, but your weapons, as you grip them, feel colder. You begin searching through this endless plain of nothing, and then you realize that you can hear a single sound. It keeps recurring. It's a little bit feeble, but it's there. And then you notice that it's your own heartbeat.
It's come sooner than I thought.
Djokovic.
Dugovitz is gonna start seeing just everyone starting to just get shred apart and dying. He kind of just sheds a tear, and at this point, he quickly grabs out like a small dagger, scribes into his the side of his short bow, and casts arcane weapon as a bonus action.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna add a extra d6 of fire damage when he shoots.
Beautiful.
He's gonna shoot at this wolf here.
It's dodging. It's ready for you. You have disadvantage on the attack.
Yeah, he's ready, but he's determined to. And I'll add the d6 inspiration.
Uh-huh.
D6 roll. 1d6 inspiration.
You anticipate which way the wolf is about to leap, and so it jumps straight into your arrow. Bam!
So it's 11 plus bonus roll 1d6 of fire.
Make an intimidate check as a free action.
Intimidation. That's not good, but no.
The sudden explosion of fire.
Actually, can I use inspiration? My inspiration.
You
on that?
can.
I really hope it can do something here. No, yeah, it's better, but
The sudden
not.
explosion of fire. Yeah, that's right. Lets out a yelp, and it seems that all the other wolves are too busy with their own battles to really notice, except this one. And he pauses, but then as you're fumbling with your arrow, as you're trying to reload it, it begins to move in.
For my last of my turn, I'm just gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then Dukovic starts like bolting for this tree and looks like he's trying to get up and climb the tree.
Ah, the wolf gives chase. This game just got even more fun for it. It bounds over you, straight over the burning corpse of its kin, and it snaps at your heels. 14?
15 armor class.
It bites you by the shoelace and rips one of your shoelaces off. Your boot becomes loose as you attempt to run away from it. It continues to snap. Meanwhile, the donkey is surrounded on all sides.
Pumpkin, no.
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 With their natural prey, easy to bring down. 4 wolves, all in unison, rip into to Pumpkin, each with advantage. 1, 2, 3, 4. 17, 18. She's down, but not out.
They all hit.
The wounded wolf snaps savagely at the dwarf, trying to get some measure of revenge for the the brutal injury that it's already suffered. 19 for 6
Against who?
against, who's this?
Vorig.
Svarig Stonehide.
Yeah, that hits for 3.
Alright, it's a mild wound, and Anton, you look at the dwarf, and even after he gets savaged by a wolf, you think to yourself, well, maybe I won't be the last to die here.
Oh, I gotta make a saving throw
Maybe the dwarf will.
with advantage. I succeed.
Alright, and then finally, they surround you. Elenway, what are your last words?
If I go now, I go to where it is warm at all times. Can I
A
just...
beach.
Yeah, a beach.
The wolves look at each other, and they seem to snicker. They almost seem to laugh. If only you knew what they were thinking. Each attack has advantage.
Come at me, bro.
Are you down?
No, that misses. No, that hits. Jesus.
Are you down?
No, I have 3 HP. I'm still up.
Gotta make the strength saving throw.
I
Make
do.
a strength save.
Oh,
So these wolves are coming at you from all directions, and each of them weighs a good 100 pounds. These are 50-kilo animals, and they hit at you with their big grey paws, their massive black fur, and their horrible carnivorous breath slavering all over you. How could you possibly? How
Oh,
could
it's-
a girl of your size fight these off?
It's at the, Ellenway right now is terrified, completely mortified, and it's pure. It's a combination of luck and pure adrenaline that she somehow manages to remain standing after all this. Shield is just flailing, as is the mace. It's just, yeah. It's crazy, but she's still here.
Warwick Stonehide. It looks to be the end, but it may not be. You and Anton may yet survive.
he's gonna do the same thing. Go for the one in the middle, like center of mass sort of thing. This great axe again. 24 to hit,
Crunch. It's a bone breaking.
attempting to sever the head.
You take it straight off cleanly.
Kick its body down as it goes limp. And I think that's all I can do.
Seeing that she's now got a moment, she takes a kind of like deep breath, brings her shield kind of closer to her, and I'm going to take the dodge action. And I also realize I need to make, I was hit once, was I? Yeah, I need to make a constitution saving throw for bless. Cool, that's turn.
Alright. So, who's next? Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Make a death saving throw, Pumpkin.
Can't turn on whispers, I don't think, because it's a bot, but death saving throw. I'll just roll a d10 since it's not in there. Not d10, sorry, d20.
D20, yeah.
Sorry. There you go.
She is hanging on. Alright, Anton.
Anton's going to sidestep around Vorig and slash at that well, stab, technically, it's a rapier.
Alright. It's a beautiful strike.
Fuck.
You haven't added your modifier to the damage.
It's got 2 hit
yeah.
points, I kid you not. All right.
Yeah,
Good
so-
point. Yeah, good point. Yeah, so that should have an extra 3 damage to that. It's
It
lethal.
has dex
It's
on it, but
only
it doesn't
a
say-
light blow, but then with a rapier, you need not deep roll.
There we go. I fixed it.
Cool, yeah.
Perfect. How does it?
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm trying to load a picture. It might cause my voice to go weird. How does the wolf die?
Just freaking out, but also just like shocked and enraged at the death of all of these people Anton knows around him. He's gonna whirl around the dwarf and just shove his rapier down this thing's throat.
Excellent. August.
Death save number 2. Failure.
No.
Alright, August. You find yourself flat plane. It's hard to tell if it's made of salt or sand or ash or silt. But there's mist all around you. This thick mist that penetrates anything more than say 10 or 20 feet away from. What do you do?
Oh. Could you repeat that? My connection went silent there first.
Nope. Anyway, it's running.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
You're in a great. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I
It's
can hear
really
you.
robot-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having a package loss rate for some reason.
Yeah. Look. I'll shut. I'm trying to open some Google pictures, but I won't do that. It's just not working. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
See if this is better. There should be nothing else loading in the background. Okay. You stand in a plane. It's difficult to tell if the plane is made of salt or of silt or of, but it's empty as far as you can tell. There's nothing around you but mist. The mist is thick. It hangs at a distance of about 10, 20 feet away from you, and it seems silent. What do you do?
I just start running for dear life. Trying to escape this damned mist.
You hear a call. It sounds like a girl. A girl not crying, but calling. You can't make out the words.
I keep running.
Alright. Old Sven, you're still in this ethereal wilderness, this misty backwater. What do you do?
Sven's keeping his calm, kind of just slowly walking forwards, but his grip on his weapons is probably tightening with every step he takes. It's an unknown for him. I mean, he's almost been ready for this moment for a long time, but it's still something new, something unfamiliar for him.
There's something approaching from behind you to the right, and it's coming quite fast.
He'll kind of turn around, lower himself, get in a kind of prepare for charge stance with his spear.
You see the mist wavering. There's definitely something disturbing it, like the way you might see a creature moving through the forest.
He'll hold his ground.
It runs past you. It's Augustin. He doesn't seem to notice you as he just runs straight past.
Hey, looks like I'm not the only one today.
Jakovic.
What would he do? I guess ignoring what's probably strategically better, Djokovic in a kind of scared state. He'd taking a attack of opportunity. He would take 2 steps back. So we'll see if I get hit first.
Yeah, absolutely. It snaps its jaws at you.
10 does not hit. And I guess instead of like kind of turning around and running, he'd leap backwards, like put up his short crossbow, and he'd take another shot, light crossbow, sorry.
Damn, great shot.
So that's a 10 and a roll 1d6. 14 damage total.
It finishes it instantly. How what does where do you strike it?
I guess as it snaps at me, as I'm like kind of doing a back step, back jumpwards, I'd aim it and I'd try and like as it's open its mouth, I get through its top jaw, through its mouth and into its head, sort of going straight through its mouth and into its brain.
Beautiful.
And I guess he'd tears like streaming from his face. He'd kind of fumble for the next bolt, load it, and try and start helping his friends.
Excellent.
Oh, and he'd move back a little bit more because he's still scared. But that's 5, 10, 15, 20 feet back.
Alright. Okay. So this is the scene as it stands. The wolves grab the donkey by its hind legs and forelegs and tail and begin pulling it in each direction, driving their canine teeth, for which the teeth are named, deeper into its throat and into its flesh. And meanwhile, as some of you get the briefest of respites from this life and death situation, Alenway is at the brink of destruction. Alenway, of the warm place that you're going to be, as you feel the warmth of your blood stream out from wounds already taken, and these slavering wolves lean forward with their jaws to snap around your exposed flesh, when suddenly you hear an explosion reminiscent of the one that you heard a few hours ago, but much louder, much closer, and the explosion is instantly followed by the entire head ones near Lenway just explode, and your ears dies down from the explosion. You hear a galloping, and a man, tall man, broad-shouldered, on a horse as black as night, rides in from the south. His musket still smoking, and perhaps none of you have ever seen a musket. I don't think they've been invented in your world, and so this great long smoking two-handed wand, a crossbow without wings, and all the while this horse thunders ahead. This black as night horse thunders ahead. The wolves seem to panic immediately. Some of them begin yelping. Some of them simply drive their tails between their legs, but in any case, they flee. They don't even take the donkey with them. They just leave. and that'll take these. I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, all of these ones will get off the map. And those ones are dead, which only leaves the 2 on you, Elenway. As they run off into the distance, you're able to, if you wish, strike at either
Oh, 100%.
the wounded or the unwounded one.
Yeah, the wounded one, but 8's gonna miss, so.
You slap it on the rump and cause it to yelp. Voreg, the Mindatus blinks and looks up at you, wounded, but still in the kind of drifts of consciousness, the midst of shock. Augustin, you haven't seen him. You don't know. He hasn't moved in, well, since we first let fire.
Hey, we need some help over here. We've got 2 down. And then, I don't think I have anything with which to help them. Oh, wait. I have a potion of healing.
Hey.
So Mindatus is more conscious than...
Yeah, he's drooling and his eyes are flickering. He's in shock rather than truly dying. You just see a man who can't deal with the situation he's just been put through.
I will run over here and gingerly feed Pumpkin. No, I'm joking. I'll feed Augustin the potion of healing. Okay, so roll 2d4 plus 2.
That voice that you hear, Augustin, it's your daughter. She's calling your name.
Oh, no, you don't.
I keep running, but I try to turn towards her voice.
You run towards her voice, wherever it might be. You're not exactly sure, and then you're looking into the eyes of a dwarf, bloodied and bruised.
Kind of bleeding into consciousness, I lurch up and accidentally hit.
Bam. Knocks himself out for the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just like, what'd you go and do that for?
But he's sleeping. He's like, you gotta slap him a few times before he'll come back.
Yeah, I didn't even stagger. And then that's my turn, I guess.
Alright. Elenway?
Yeah, it's an action to administer a potion.
It is.
I'll do that then. I'll pour one down old mate's throat.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin will make a death saving throw. Same as last time.
Oh,
So
actually,
Sven, you're out there. I was gonna see if like Pumpkin joined Sven in the afterlife just before he came back. So yeah, Sven, you're out there in the mist, and you hear Augustin call out. You hear him call out his daughter's name, Elizabeta. Elizabeta.
Correct.
Yeah. And what do you do when you hear him? He can't be more than 50 or 60 feet away.
Sven wants to say something, but at the same time, it's seeing Augustin like that. It's kind of bringing back his own memories, and it's not quite that he freezes up. More, he just can't bring himself to speak. So it's that has probably affected Sven more than just being here because it's bringing back awful memories to him.
You know what's also bringing back memories is the smell Although this is mist, it looks like mist, it has the stench of not quite smoke, but of smouldering ruins. It has the same smell that you returned home to. Not smoke so much as lingering charcoal. A burnt smell. Only when you open your eyes, you realize it's the campfire. And the smoke is blowing straight into your face. And Elenway, she administers the healing potion to you, and almost as soon as you come conscious, moves away to continue her ministering.
Today then.
Pumpkin. It gives a kick! Pumpkin kicks!
Uh-oh. Pumpkin
And
kicks.
Pumpkin's kicking!
Kicks Mindatus in the head.
Mindatus! Instant death! Anton.
Anton is going to move to the edge of the fire and try to get a better look at the guy who just showed up.
Alright. He is tall and he has the stature and stance of a general or someone regal, that straight back. And he rides his horse, even as it gallops towards you. No hands, 2 hands on his weapon, and still maintains an almost perfect posture. Beyond that, there's only a few details that you can tell. He carries an archaic sword that looks magnificent even from a distance. And he has, I suppose, the countenance of both a noble and a furrier at the same time.
Anton's gonna hold a hand up and wave to him and go, "Thank you, sir." And I think that's his turn.
All right. Well, Gustin, you breathe again.
Shit. What the fuck was that shit? Fucking wolves.
Only a few.
A few. A few. Fuck.
It's alright, princess. They're gone now.
Shut up. And you get out of the cart and just survey what's going on.
Alright.
Sven kind of lies there on his back for a while. No, I mean, it's he may be healed by the potion, but it's kind of put him in. He doesn't really want to talk to anyone right now, so he's just going to keep lying there.
And finally, Dukov.
Dukovic, he's gonna start, like, he wipes away his tears really quick and kind of straightens himself up so he can be presentable, but he still has like puffy eyes and red eyes. And he's gonna start running towards what he can see now is the donkey is the last one injured. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm just gonna dash to get there all the way, and I'll start doing cure wounds next turn.
Beautiful.
30. So yeah, Dukovic, like, you see Dukovic pull out like a tiny spider, and it has his 2 pincers are like medical needles and like with like stitching attached, and it starts stitching up all the donkey's wounds and healing them.
Alright. One by one, you each come around as this rider comes into the vicinity of the campfire, but not to its edge, just close. His stallion must be 17, 18 hands high. It's an absolutely huge horse. And now that he's much closer to you, uh, Anton, you're able to see that his sword, his long sword, is the kind of weapon that would be more at place in the armory of a knight or even a noble than some common hunter. It has a ruby embedded into its pommel at the base, and a ruby into its guard as well on either side of the guard. In fact, and adorned with this sword and musket and magnificent horse, a sturdy saddle that would be suitable for war. This stranger merely seems to assess the situation, placing more value on the deaths of the wolves than of the situation for your party. Congratulations. He says to you, savage beasts, and you do quite well.
Thank you for the rescue, sir.
Will you be needing the pelt?
I don't believe so.
Have your companions skin these beasts. I shall give you 5 pieces of gold for each pelt serviceable.
I think we're a bit injured at the moment.
I can do it. I'm tip top.
If I can assist you if you like. I'm fine.
Anton just like turns around like you guys are fucking insane, but he doesn't say anything. And he turns back.
What you
The
doing?
rider
at this
doesn't
point?
get hunting a hunt. Keeps most of his face here, a broad-brimmed hat, even in the depths of night. But beneath that, you see that he has a thick black moustache, a strong jaw, and quite handsome features for a man who's going grey at the.
You're roboting a lot. What's the
Ah.
server set to? It's in Sydney at the moment. Do you want to set it to somewhere closer to you?
I'm in
Like
I'm in
halfway.
Cairns, so
Oh, you're back
like,
in Cairns.
yeah, well, on the mountain anyway.
You just
It's
bush
just
bashing.
it's just I was trying to load some more pictures, like trying to bring up a picture of a kind of unnecessary, but yeah.
The flavor.
I understood it. I heard what he
I-
said.
Dukovic would probably kind of walk up to him a little bit, kind of slowly walking towards him and looking at this weird mystical boomstick that he has. Ooh, that's an interesting contraption you've got there. What is that?
He looks at the weapon. You have not seen a gun before?
A gun? No, but I have been doing some invention processes on projectile weapons for some time, but that's nothing come across in my notes.
A Lemordian weapon. High technology.
Could I have a look?
No, you may not.
Kind of just tries to study it from afar as best he can.
Be
you
quick
know-
about that skinning. I do not have.
Do you know where the closest town is?
Aye. You'll find Barovia if you follow the old Svalich Road. Another. Perhaps a few miles down the road. Some 10 or 20 miles.
Hey, thanks for that.
You're headed in the right direction.
Might we ask your name, sir? We're apparently strangers to these lands.
You may call me Hunt. Now, be quick about those.
I'll assist Vorig in doing it, and I give him guidance. So
Oh,
I
you
just sit
calm
down
down.
with it.
Yeah. Is there a check for that? Or
Yeah, survival check.
cool.
Yeah, I just sit next to him, kind of handing
a
him
D-
tools, and
With a D4, was it?
yeah, I give you guidance and give you aid as well. So I'll sit there, help you, and give you guidance on specific tools.
And there's 6 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2,
Quickly
3,
make
4,
6 checks. On DC 10 in
Oh.
each case.
Augustine could make a few checks.
Yeah, absolutely. A failed check, yeah, it means the pelt.
Because I'm giving Vorig aid, does that mean he has advantage, or just the D4?
Just a D4.
Okay.
D4's not going to help a 3. I'll add the D4 to that one, then. Hey. And then I'll let Augustine take the last one.
Alright, so I think that's 5 out of 6. Who comes and drapes the bloody pelts over the horse?
Djukovic wants to, because he wants to get closer to the gun.
Alright. Make an investigation roll when you get close enough to have a good look at it. Beautiful. You get a good assessment for how it works. It's a flintlock musket. My understanding is that there's a... No, that's a matchlock, isn't it? Anyway, it's a pretty high-tech weapon. You might not be able to duplicate it just by looking at it, but it gives you an idea for the concept. It's pretty simple, bit of explosive, launches a projectile down a relatively long and straight barrel.
He takes mental notes and seems a bit happier about the exchange now that he's found this piece of information.
As you drape these bloody pelts over the flank of this horse, the horse almost rears around as if to snap at you and bite you. Its head is huge, this huge crocodile-sized head, foaming at the mouth where it gnaws at this rusty iron bridle. And you're so close to that beautiful ruby encrusted sword that you could see. You could reach out. The blood drips down of this 18-hand high horse.
I guess he'd hold his hand out for the payment. Wait.
He tosses it in the ground beside you, and just reaches his hand into a hole and scatters them. Good night, then.
Robot in there. Say that one again.
Good
Yeah,
night,
please.
then. He tosses his coins in the grass.
Yep.
Good night, then.
Good night. Safe travels. I pick up the coin pouch and walk away.
Avoid
Thank you
packs
again.
of wolves.
The individual does not act as it rides off into the mist.
It's a weird one.
Can I pull out the coins and see if they're the same as the one we found on the road?
They are. These are old, tarnished coins. They look like they could be a century old. They're that same aquiline-nosed, noble man with his widow's peak.
I'd show Anton pretty much immediately.
Same coin. I guess. You suppose that may be the Lord?
I assume so.
Well, these coins are very old, though. Maybe ancestor or something.
Indeed.
Is everyone okay?
Did Mindar
Nardis is a bit hurt.
Yeah,
He
well,
does survive.
if I get some rest, I ought to be able to cast something for that.
Oh,
Alright.
Djukovic kind of goes. It's I have another spider. He pulls out one and does Q ends again. Last spell slot now.
Everybody make an insight check. You can have advantage, Djukovic, as you lose your last spell slot.
So you, what was it? Insight?
Insight, yeah, with advantage for you. Although it's Augustin that truly has the revelation here. Vorag would notice, and Dukovic, but it's Augustin that has the. There is a quicken. There is a surge of energy that runs through all of you. You don't see it. Only some of you notice it. But for those who do, you feel it. You feel this energy just surge up through the earth, or does it come from the sky? You're not sure. Does it come from within? You can't be certain. Whatever the case, there's this power within your veins, within your blood. You feel stronger. You feel more adept. You feel more confident. And in game terms, you immediately level up. But in character terms, it's this sudden surge of power that some of you don't notice, but others simply can't deny. And Dukovic, you were just saying that you have run out of spell slots. On the contrary, you have this reserve of energy in you that seems to burn brightly. That wasn't there when you were fighting the wolves, but it's there now.
He kind of just stares at his hands for a bit and just kind of goes all tingly and then just is silent.
Mm.
Oh, can you roll twice?
Yeah, Arctic lets you roll twice
Oh.
and take the higher.
Yeah, awesome.
A lot of 9s.
Yeah.
Now it's 6s and 7s.
Hmm.
Right.
Shortly after this revelation, and as you're tossing your weapons from one hand to the other and testing them, as you're calling upon your cantrips and so on, the bats overhead seem to take flight. All of like a legion of bats. They either launch themselves to the clearing or they join this huge horde of bats that blackens the dawning sky, and they all flood back in the same direction that you intend to travel. Thousands of
Yeah, it's an ominous sign.
within half an hour. Dawn has come, but it never breaks. Dawn never quite breaks so much as slowly saunters in to the point where you can't deny that it is day, even though it doesn't have the brightness of the day. In fact, Mindardus notes that the sunlight doesn't hurt his eyes here.
Ooh. It's like overcast, right?
Yeah, and this clear sky that you saw, or partially clear, with the ragged clouds of the night, is gone, and now it's completely grey sky again. A muted sky, where the colours aren't as bright as you're used to, with no sunlight to illuminate them, and it's comfortable only for Mindardus, who finds it gentle on his eye.
We're in England. What is it? We have rested, is it? Or no?
We have.
Oh, yes.
What's for breakfast?
I guess we only skinned the wolves, so we could have
Oh,
wolf.
yeah. Can I grab, like, the big teeth and claws?
Sure. Canine fang. Do you have any sort of tool? Or you just hack
Nah.
at them with a dagger.
Yeah, just like grab them with like some leather and around my hand so I can not like cut myself, and then
Good call.
yeah, good grip. And
I'd
You
give
are
him
the
the 8-ball and make him shake it to give him guidance.
good call.
Alright.
You are the crudest of dentists.
Hell yeah. Does brewer's supplies apply? Brewer's proficiency apply?
I think brewers will help.
It's 17 on survival.
Pretty good. You get yourself a couple of nice sets. There were 6 wolves left over. You'd be able 10 canines.
Hell yeah. Our
Wow.
heroes. I like our icon.
Yeah. So we're eating wolf meat?
We still have plenty of rations.
Rations.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to trail rations. I'm not eating wolf.
as well.
If the wolf smells good, I'll eat it.
We've already got a fire going, and we need to get some rest, so we may as well smoke some of it while we're here. We're in the strange lands, so we don't know how long our food will last us.
Well, wait. Let me ask a question real quick. How quickly were we traveling in our wagon, like in terms of miles per hour, roughly?
More than 10. Oh, miles per hour, sorry. That's 10 miles per day. So about 2 miles an hour would be likely. Maybe between 1 and 4 miles an hour.
Alright, never mind.
Can I ritual
Yeah.
cast purify food and drink while they're preparing the wolf carcass?
Yeah,
Carcasses?
absolutely. And it's fortunate that you do. For while the wolf steaks are juicy, and not particularly tasty, grain, not a very delicious meat, you do at least get rid of whatever taint might have been in it that would drive these things into such a ravenous, hateful state. And thus, due to your preparation, you have some perfectly good wolf steaks, as many as you can carry. And do you have any salt or anything to preserve, or are you just going to use smoke alone? No salt.
No.
All right. So you still nonetheless have as many wolf steaks as you could possibly carry. They just might not last as long as you would like. All right. So how many wolf steaks do we have? Anyone know? Who's taking wolf?
I'd be taking wolf. I'm not sure how many we get.
2 pounds is 1 day's worth. You can have they were 100-pound wolves. Half of that is bone. There's about 300 pounds of meat here, give or take. 200, 300 pounds. It's a lot of wolf.
Have some wolf brain.
Like I said, as much as you want. Carry all the wolf in the world.
Just chuck it in the. We don't have like enough like leather sacks or something to keep it all in.
Not really. It'll just
I mean, we
sit
have
in
the cart.
Like just cook enough for like those of us who want wolf for breakfast, and then just a little bit of extra that we can carry.
There's about 5 rations worth, perhaps.
Okay.
10 pounds. Cool, not much. But you smoke up a bit of wolf and you head off. After travelling for a couple of miles, only this towering pine and oak forest, north and south, or up and above, whichever way you want to look at it. You see a huge, towering set of gates. I can show the picture in roll. I would do if I don't have to show it in I might have to show it in a Discord instead. Let's have a look. No. No. Oh, in Discord because it's a good picture. Where are we? Copy image. Okay. So there are a huge towering set of gates. I'll let them load. So the fog spills out from the forest, and it swallows up the road behind you. And ahead, jutting out of these impenetrable pine forests and oak trees on both sides of the road, you can see these huge stone buttresses looming out, grey, even greyer than the fog. There are a pair of huge iron gates hanging onto the stonework, and the dew, the morning dew, is clinging coldly to these rusted bars. The statues themselves appear like giant guardians, but headless guardians flanking the gate, and their decapitated heads lie among the weeds at their feet. The gates are slightly ajar, wide enough for you to fit your cart through without even opening them any further.
Anton sketches them.
This looks amazing. Where are we?
The man said
Barovia.
I really don't recall anything like this in the area.
No,
I
absolutely.
explored it quite thoroughly before I went to Slumberhaven.
Definitely not in Kansas anymore.
Do the suits of armor or whatever they are? Do they have any insignia or anything like that, like along the armor or along the blade, perhaps?
They do. Their insignia appears to be of a rampant dragon, of an angry worm, in an aggressive stance.
Hmm.
I take one of the coins that we have, and I I compare it to the stone heads that are on the ground.
Ooh, the stone heads are not the same head as the one that you're looking for. Though they do have
Have a what?
an ethnic similarity, like they're both, Eastern European.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it appears we're about to enter someone's domain. We should be careful. This gives me the creeps.
Aye.
The guy on the horse seemed to think it was alright.
No guards at the border.
No guards at the border.
Not that we can see.
And it's worth noting that you've camped only a short distance from the border. These gates are a mere mile away from where you camp. And in that time, no one came to either harass you or protect you.
Well, not much of a military presence this place has.
Hmm.
Let's go on in then.
All right. Who would like to be the designated mover of the icon?
Who has been moving it?
I have.
Alright.
I'll move it if no one wants to.
All right. These are hexes, so it'll move in strange direction a little bit. Just try to follow the road if that is what you want to do.
Am I moving it now?
Oh, we're going through the gate.
Aye. Nowhere to go but through.
Alright
Pass through the gate.
take the wagon through, and several of you come through on foot.
Say again.
Sorry.
Who comes last?
Probably. I think Ellen would. She really doesn't like this. She's really hesitant the whole time, and then seeing everyone go through, she kind of just resigns to the fact and then moves forward.
Seeing Alan Way drag behind Sven, will stick towards the back as well in case we get attacked again.
There's the pair of you, friends, the Genasi and the Asamar, past this gate. You've gone no more than 25 feet past it when it begins to close.
Hey, that can't be good.
Does anyone
Everyone-
react? Because it's going to be closing within moments.
Spin about.
Anyone?
The-
Anyone closing?
No.
There's no way for everyone to get through at once, so we may as well keep moving.
You stick together.
Can I call out?
Boom! The gates are shut.
Who's doing that?
It wasn't us. It did it of its own accord.
Are there any like mechanics on the gate?
You spot nothing. It is locked though now. That is the only mechanic, but the lock is from the other side. It'd be very difficult to reach around and grab the lock due to the positioning too.
And the
Djokovic.
extremely large size of the door.
Digovic will take out one of his little tiny tinkering boxes, and he holds it up towards the gate and presses a button, and you hear like a click, and then he stores it in his pocket again. He's just taken a visual effect of that gate. That's all.
Is there any movement along the ramparts above, all throughout the structure?
Make a perception check.
Anton will too.
Excellent.
Augustine is Augustine as well.
Beautiful.
Hey, it's magic.
You see no one. You see no attendants nor guards. No animals either. There are the sounds of crickets, and occasionally you might see a moth. Perhaps in the distance you can hear a frog, but quite around where you are. Just the mist, these ancient pines, and then you hear a groan. Not a wail, but a long, anguished groan coming from off in the north into the forest. Wow. Not quite animalistic, but not quite human either.
Dugovic will probably pull out his 8-ball, shake it. What is that? And he kind of shakes and asks the question to himself. There'd be Arcana, Survival, Nature.
Yeah, nature's good.
Nature. Plus a 1d4.
Hopefully just a goblin in pain.
20 total.
The yawning, the groaning comes from much closer to you as you ponder it, only 8 feet away, and there's nothing there save for a swaying, leaning tree that groans as it stretches, being pushed by, well, a fairly gentle wind.
Oh. I don't like that much. I think we should keep going.
Stay close and stay on the road.
Nods.
Strange magic, keeping people locked in rather than out.
I'll move us one more hexagon if we keep going.
Plonk.
Bonk.
Alright. So you've only travelled less than half a mile away from the gates. You could still see those towering statues, their backs faced towards you in the distance as you look up over the canopy, which is itself some 60, 70 feet tall. And then you hear it. The sharper-eared of you would hear it first, but then it becomes undeniable. Horses approaching. Approaching is the wrong word. Horses galloping. Horses thundering They're thundering from the direction in which you are traveling, and they're coming towards you. You also hear not the creak or groan of a wagon, but rather the smashing of some wagon that is bouncing madly along the old Svalich road.
Is it wide enough for both to pass?
If you're willing to stand among the underbrush, if you're willing to get among the long grass and the roots and get scratched by the pines and oaks, then you could make way for even the largest wagon.
Yeah, I'm stepping off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, clear the cart off, make way.
You probably won't stop in time.
I actually might try and hide behind a tree if I can.
Yeah.
You are a tree.
Yeah, I just turn around and show like the back of my head, just kind of
Natural 20.
stay very still.
Natural 20 stealth.
Tree wearing chainmail.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
It's an 8, so it's with disadvantage.
Before they like come into view, like right before they come into view, if the rest of us aren't like hiding from them, I'll just try and whistle loudly to get their attention before they like just run into us.
As you whistle, you see 4 black horses, massive horses, 17, 18 hands tall, as black, and they charge down this old dirt road among huge, towering pines and oaks, and as eagles and ravens alike take to the wing and fly off in any direction that they can into the mist, which still fogs the sky above. These mad slavering drag, or they pull this 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 magnificent stagecoach, all black, save for the silver and gold trims, gold spokes on the wheels, and gold lining and silver along the windows. This beautiful stagecoach bounces along, but the horses begin to slow. You whistle and they begin to slow. They're still, when they go around you, they do a complete kind of loop, uh, like a needle straight over with you in the head of the eye of the needle. And with each step, they slow just a little, from a canter to a trot, until they come to a stop, also sudden. But even when they stop, these horses, they seem filled with jitters. They stamp and they chant at the bit, and they continue to foam. They've got beautiful blinkers on. The reins that they wear are the most magnificent leather with real silver links. This magnificent coach pulls up beside you and stops. And the
And
door
no
swings
driver.
open. No driver, just 4 horses. The door.
Hello?
You look in, and there's no one in there, but the seats are made of red velvet. There is several bottles of red wine, beautiful black cigars lying in small boxes. The carriage is opulent. It's magnificent, and there is a set of steps which would take you straight in. And there's room enough for all. Room for 8. Not the donkey, perhaps, but
That's unfortunate.
Then fuck that. We're not leaving behind the donkey.
It's the strongest among us.
He held his own. Okay, he's a member of the party. All right, we are not leaving him.
Like, I inspect the coach everywhere for like any sign of anyone.
make an investigation.
I just pat the horses while he does it.
Make an animal handling check at disadvantage.
No guidance on that, so just 11.
Animal handling.
The coach is magnificent and has suffered no damage despite the tumultuous ride that it just had. The horse bites at you.
Oh, okay, it was 6 total, but yeah, bites.
What's your
Rip me.
armor class?
Oh, that hits, yeah.
Oh,
It snaps at you. 6 points of damage.
Oh. Okay.
Ouch! You lost a finger.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
These
6.
horses can put Pumpkin to shame.
Did we get all our spell slots back, or just the ones we get from leveling up?
We rested.
we
so-
rested, so you're
Yeah.
full
Okay,
power,
I
full
was gonna-
capacity.
I will just pop 1 healing then.
Hey, watch your hands.
Yeah.
The horse doesn't then go you again the way a dog might. It just gives that one snap, like, get
Yeah.
out of it, and then stamps its hooves again and flicks its tail.
That's enough.
There's no like symbol on the carriage.
There is a symbol. It's
Oh.
a symbol of a dragon, an aggressive, rampant dragon. Black and red.
We've seen that before, over at the gate.
A magic gate shuts us in, and a magic carriage comes and greets us.
I don't think it's magic.
There's no driver unless he's like, these are sentient horses.
Yeah, maybe the horses are smarter than you give them credit for.
Is there a driver's seat?
There is a driver's seat.
I get up into it.
All right, it's comfortable. Nowhere near as comfortable as being inside the coach, but it's leather and it's soft.
But I'm not sitting in anyone's invisible lap, am I?
You are not. In spite of your, reservations that you might be about to bump into the invisible driver, no, you're by yourself there. The reins are still slack. You haven't taken the reins yet, and the horses look like they're ready to go.
All right. Well, seeing that no one's there, I will kind of halfway jump off the driver's seat, but clinging to the top of the carriage, I will swing my way into.
All right, you land in a beautiful carriage. Opulent is the best word. It is magnificent in here, and whether you want whiskey or wine, cigars, or you just want to look out the window and enjoy the view, all expenses have gone to making this an enjoyable ride.
Yes, all of that.
Who do you suppose expects us then? Who is sent to pick us up? Who knows we're
I
here?
suppose.
The
Lord
hunter
of-
knows we're here.
Yes, he may have told the Lord about us.
But, but
Jigridge?
to send such a magnificent carriage.
We do not know if this is magnificent for them or if it is a pittance.
Jigridge will flip down a monocle over his eye and then inspect the cart for magic runes or some form of even the reins maybe that could be controlling the cart.
Yeah. Make an investigation roll. Yeah, cool. Arcana's good.
Oh, okay.
Arcana's good.
It's the same- would it be the
There
same?
is good. There is no obvious mechanism or device. A rune example, there are none. The magical objects that you can see. The closest description you could possibly get is that they are like automatic, right? It has less in common with a traditional art and more in common with a device that is created. Although these horses are flesh and blood, there's no doubt about that. But, they're it's almost like these animals are on standby. They're not grazing the way a horse might. They're not socializing with each other, the way the horses might. They're just ready to go.
They are agitated. We need to give them something to do.
We get on.
Get in.
I
It is quite comfy in here.
I really don't like this, guys. It's-
We're clearly being summoned. I mean, wouldn't it be rude to refuse it? If you have hesitations, perhaps you could take the cart into town and the rest of us could go.
I don't think we should split up.
No, it doesn't make sense to us to separate. And I suppose if you want to ride in this cart, then I will come. But I don't like it.
I don't think Pumpkin can keep up. Might as well let her free.
Food for those wolves that we dealt with last night.
We're beyond the gate now. Maybe they hunt in this land enough to thin them out. Better food for the wolves untethered than tethered to the cart.
Alright, I start lugging my pack and stuff from the cart into the carriage.
Guess we all would.
Yeah.
Yeah, and cut Pumpkin free.
Pumpkin watches as you take the things and cut her. She looks off into the forest.
I point down the road.
Down the road. She starts treading back towards the way from which you've already come. Back towards.
Pumpkin's smarter than she looks, but she ain't no automatic driving one. I guess we'll have a nice, fancy ride then, eh?
I guess so. And I get in.
Yeah. Anton kind of drags his chest in.
Pumpkin looks back at all of you.
You trying to guilt trip us with a donkey?
She looks at the horses. The horses don't look
I open the door for Pumpkin.
It sniffs the carriage, but there's nowhere for her to fit in.
She's medium. I get out of the carriage and get on top of the carriage.
Could we tie her up?
Alright.
Yeah, tie her up and put her on top.
Can we please be the hillbilly bum to Strahd on Zarvich's castle?
Alright, she's
the carriage.
There are 8 positions where they are human shaped, not just human size, but human shaped positions. A donkey is going to take up basically 4 of those. Even though she's only your size, she's still, she can't sit on her ass and just, be nice and thin.
Is there room
so
for
she'll take
4
up.
people on top?
There is, if you, yeah, but it's going to be difficult. You'll be, it's sturdy enough, and it's a big carriage. So, all right. Work out who's inside, who's in the driver's seat, etc., and who's riding like a train in Southeast Asia.
I will
Sven's
take
gonna get the driver's seat.
I'm gonna head up as well. I got proficiency
No.
in vehicles.
Okay. Well, then Augustine will sit on top of the carriage with a couple of bottles of wine.
Yes, please. Let's pillage the nobleman's carriage.
I'm sitting on top. We're going the same way.
I guess Dukovic will kind of just stand back looking at all the random commotion, everyone piling in, and just take wherever he can afterwards.
Pumpkin sticks her head out one of the window.
Are we seriously taking the fucking carriage?
Yes, I think we are.
Apparently.
Jesus Christ.
She's tougher than half of us.
Are we really?
What about the wagon, like the cart though? Because you'll have to leave that behind, won't you?
Yeah.
So you'll only be able to take the stuff that you have on your character.
Yeah.
So if you're whatever you leave behind, I should presume you
So
lose.
we can't. If we've got, say, like for example, I have a priest pack in the cart. Will that not fit in the carriage with us? And the
Not
donkey?
really.
Mm.
Like,
Is there a-
like you could theoretically put the luggage on the roof, but you've now got people on the roof, so that makes it.
Yeah,
No?
there's not like
I
yeah.
think I
It's
said- Do you have a
You know-
person on the roof?
Put it this way: you could probably get all the stuff and put it on the roof. Whether it stays there or not is another story.
We have
You-
so much rope we can tie it all down.
Yeah. Well, you don't. How much rope have we got?
I've got
Do I?
10 feet.
I have
or-
100 feet.
I used to have rope, but that's gone.
Yeah, I haven't got any rope.
I've got rope.
I've got 100 feet of rope.
Got 50.
That's probably enough for one pack.
Okay,
I'll just-
most of my things are in a chest.
I can carry everything I got, it's just I'll be weighed down, but like, when we get there I can just unload it.
Feel like we
Yeah.
could-
I'm a halfling. I can't carry my shit on me.
I'll drop the Dungeoneer's pack that I got from the old adventurers.
Yeah, can we try to tie my chest to the roof or something?
Do we
Here, it can
prioritize?
be my seat. It can be my seat.
All right.
Does your chest have room for my pack?
It's a 25-pound chest. I assume there's a significant amount of room.
Yeah, okay. The priest pack itself is 25 pounds. Well,
Let
I
me.
don't really know how
I
that
think it
works.
The
actually
chest is
gives
like-
capacity.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I suppose I won't be needing this anymore. I'll take the rations.
No, you can keep it, right? We can tie it up there as well.
Do we
Yeah,
ha- oh,
chest
do we
can
have?
hold 300 pounds of gear. We're good.
Oh, okay. Alright.
I've got everything I have on me.
All right.
Oh, I can chuck the Dungeoneer's pack in there
Yep,
too.
so I'll
and
give you
that'll fill it up.
my priest pack, I'll give you my eyeliner,
Hmm.
my vestments, my clothes.
Hmm.
You're naked?
No, I've got my armor on. Like, I have it like another set of common clothes.
Come to think of it, like, Anton might take a minute to go behind a tree and change into his fine clothes.
All right. You're dressed up now, like you no longer have blood stains and mud stains.
Yeah.
You're looking. Comes back and we rearrange the card, and it sounds like you've pretty much collected everything so that you'll be leaving behind.
Okay, out of character, can we please not take the fucking mule?
I mean, I don't carry the way out of character, and I think in character, Duvich does not carry the way either.
Can we just leave it by the side of the road and hope it's there when we get back?
Take it,
and that
in,
we have some
take it
way
into
of
the village and
retrieving
sell it. It's a good donkey.
Yeah, yes.
If I detach the cart, mount the donkey, and ride it alongside the cart, could I
You can't
somehow
mount the
keep up?
donkey.
I can't mount a donkey.
It's medium sized. Anton
Anton-
could.
Anton's good, yeah.
The donkey is unlikely to be as fast as. Depends on whether these horses trot or gallop. Yeah.
What if we just
Better
tie
off
it to
leaving
the cart
her.
and drag it behind us?
She'll die.
Oh my god.
How about we tie you to the back?
damage per month.
It's better off just leaving her on the wild. She'll find a way somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe
Or
we'll
die.
find her when we come back.
I don't want to
We
be,
won't.
inside a galloping carriage with a donkey on the inside as well.
So- Yeah.
It doesn't sound very practical.
Or safe.
No,
You crash, that thing's gonna crush you.
100%. I'm not about to get crushed by a donkey.
Alright.
The donkey's only too happy to be let out of the.
There you go, girl. Go on. Give her a pat.
I sit
Yes.
inside then.
Yes, I'll swing back into.
Are we all in?
I think so.
Wait,
Everybody's
Sven,
inside. No,
tell
no
the
driver
horses
and
to
no one on the
move.
roof.
Sven's
I'll-
driving.
I'd be. I think Vorig, you wanted to be shotgun?
No, I got back inside.
Oh, I
Do you
guess
want-
I'd go shotgun then.
Yeah. Okay. That's all good then. Sweet.
Did you want to go shotgun?
No, it's alright. It's all good.
Okay.
So we got a driver and a co-driver, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. You settle in among the luxurious, if don't damaged, carriage. It's quite soft. You pour yourself some glasses of wine, spark up a few cigars. As you close the door, bam! The horses break off at a breakneck speed. Sven and was it Dukovic on the was you riding?
Yeah, Dukovic is in shotgun. I'm not sure who was driving.
All right, Sven and Dukovic, both of you need to make dexterity saving throws as the thing just takes off without any warning.
Mic off.
Dex saving throw.
Is it like
Ugh.
supernatural speed or?
Mic on.
It's about 60 kilometers an hour. So it's like 0 to 60 in less than a
So
round.
it's
Bam.
it's supernatural. It's not like normal horses, because
Oh, they're pretty fast.
I've got proficiency in land vehicles.
Ah, you can do that. You can use a proficiency in land vehicles check, yeah.
I don't think I do, but yeah, I'll just take that 7.
All right. Beautiful. All right. So Sven, these horses behave like supernatural is, but they nonetheless behave the way they just they move forward, they bolt, but they do it in unison. There's no conversation between the horses, no communication. No one gives a command. They just simultaneously bolt as if they have some kind of psychic. And it break. You know, it's like riding a rodeo bull. It snaps your footing just because you've been in this situation before. If not for Djukovic, on the other hand, you got an extra D4. So is your saving?
Yeah, I was gonna say, as I'm getting up with the cart, just kind of looking at getting guidance, using guidance just on the cart, just shaking my 8-ball, kind of having it in hand. It's and it just words appear. It just says, "Be wary of your footing," and I kind of buckle down a little bit harder.
Bam! And that's when it bucks, and the little 8-ball rolls out of your hand and rests at the very edge of the wagon as the whole thing starts bouncing around. You're barely hanging on. The pair of you are barely hanging on, and the donkey disappears into the distance as you begin careening, charging down the old Svalich road. At the sort of not be safe to ride a horse by itself, let alone dragging a carriage.
Wait, they got more kick into them than war horses.
Am I going with the light? Sorry. Or are you doing it? Okay.
Yeah, you are out of control now. This is being driven by someone other than yourself. These are unseen hands. But you're in a clearing, and less than a mile away, you can see a village. It appears to be a lonely, quiet. There's you don't see any farmers out in the field. There doesn't seem to be a lot of life in this establishment, but you're careening towards it like you're going to cut straight through the middle of it. Those of you who are inside might have spilt your drinks, or you might have hung on to them. You might have dropped your cigars, or perhaps not. But As you careen towards this village, the horses seem to show no sign of slowing down. Does anyone act?
As I've got my head out the window, I'm kind of just like, you guys, there's a village ahead. We're going straight for it.
I just try and tie myself down with anything I can and like grab my 8-ball. Just hold on.
You reach for the 8-ball, reach, and you snap it back up, and then start securing yourself on the driver's bench.
Yeah, I sit back in my seat and I'm gonna say a quick prayer to the sun and give myself guidance for the minute.
All right.
I'm gonna kind of dig my feet into the floorboard or the footrest or whatever it's got for the driver to sit upon. Kind of tense up my legs, preparing for a sudden stop.
Yes.
Augustine is just relaxing, trying to ride with the bumps.
Oh, you haven't spilled a drop yet.
I just
It's
got my thumb
fine
over
wine.
the top of the bottle to stop everything from going out.
This wine is called the Dark.
The what, sorry?
The Dark Lord's Own.
That's not suspicious at all.
Yeah, the label tells you it's from the Wizards of Wines. Yeah, Dark Lord's Own from the Wizard of. The carriage with its red leather inlay continues to careen towards this village. Fortunately, I suppose, there's no dogs, nor chickens, nor children to run over. There are people within this village, though, but it seems that they slammed out or their doors shut. Those you who are out sweeping on the veranda go in. The village looks deserted, save for the handful of people that you see vaporizing, disappearing from your eyes. Stir up the rocks and the dirt and the dust, and you're careening real sad. Low. The horses do not slow down.
Pretty Queen's little town.
Kind of yelling amongst the thing to Sven, do we want to stop?
You think I'm in control of this?
Do something with the reins. He's like holding on for dear life, kind of pitch white.
The horse is sled dog.
What was that?
The horses, they snarl like sled dogs.
Oh, maybe don't touch the reins then.
All right, we are leaving the village behind, right?
I guess so.
Mhm.
I don't think anyone jumps out.
Nope.
The fog has lifted today enough for you to see over the tops of several of the trees, and even out into the clearing that you're currently passing through the grassland. Because if you get your ruler, if you feel like, you'll be able to see this is a relatively small area, and over the couple of miles that you can see, where these farmlands look like they've gone to fallow, like they just people just aren't bothering to till them anymore. A beautiful crystal blue river saunters its way through these lands, and there, up in the distance, among the clouds, as it were, among the misty wisps grasping towards its base, is this huge dark castle that towers and teeters on the edge of a mountain cliff, overlooking this village that you're careening through, the way a headmaster might look down upon a pupil. but you careen towards the bridge. Old Sven, you came pretty close to death. Why don't you roll a d20? What did you get?
9.
All right. We're heading up towards the bridge. We're riding straight over it. We're not even slowing down for this narrow way over the river. The bridge is only made of wood. You're not sure if it's this punishment of the 1,500-pound horse charging, stampeding over it. Does that cause anyone to take any action?
They're well and truly moving by themselves at this point. I think they're confident on the bridge.
Fair call. All right, roll a d100, please, Sven. Yeah. What'd you get? 4. Okay. There is a small lock that is lying in the middle of the bridge. You are going to tramp.
What was it that was in the middle of the bridge?
A little
Keep
padlock
rolling.
made of silver, you think. A little silver padlock.
Does Dukovic see it as well? Being up top?
Yeah. You pair will see it, but no.
And it's just laying there?
That's right, as if it was placed in the dead center of this wooden bridge.
Is it locked on to something, or is it just not there?
It's not locked at all. It has its key. Well, the key is cast away. There's no sign of it, but the lock is currently unlocked, like a padlock that is open.
Do you want it, Sven?
Sven probably hasn't even bothered to take a second look and has no idea what you're talking about. He just kind of turns to look at you with a confused look on his face, like, what?
Alright, and I just cast Catapult on the lock. So try and send it towards us, but make it stop. So I'll send it towards us, and then make it stop flinging towards us a few feet away, and I'll try and catch it.
Alright, make a dexterity saving throw, DC 13.
Dexterity saving throw. I'm actually right at these.
Snatch it right out of the air.
This! And I hand it, show him.
Piece of silver, what about it?
Mm-hmm.
You've accidentally closed it when you snapped it out of the air, right? You grab it, and in the process of snatching it out of the air, you've locked it. You look down, and you've now got a little locked padlock, and you have no. And so, just as you're thinking whether all that might have been for naught, a drop of your blood leaks into the keyhole, and it opens.
Oh. Just kind of look at Sven. Look at the lock. I gotta study this. I mean, for the whole ride from now on, he's just intrigued by this lock and is studying it.
You close it, and it closes up, a drop, and it opens.
Hey, don't lose your focus and fall on your ass while we're moving this fast.
40 miles an hour, 60 kilometers. You charge down the rough, poorly kept road, and you're coming to a crossroad. The main road seems to continue along to the left, whereas a small trail will break off towards the right. You're currently also passing a. We're not
Passing a
interfering
what?
in the horse's agenda, are we?
No, I think Sven's holding the reins, but I mean from the very moment where they took off at like flat out charging warhorse speed, I don't think he's bothered trying to control them because these horses have a mind of their
Alright. They break down and continue along the main road, and growing further away from both the castle and the village. You're whipping along this road at a breakneck pace, but all of this is only taking a process of minutes. You can check for your own selves if you wish to see the distance that you've travelled, but you're travelling between rocky bluffs and thick ancient woodlands. Um, these are wild lands that look like they've been claimed by someone in name only. Uh, Large bears and the like could easily dwell among this country. The horse continues, the carriage continues. This dangerous skidding as they round a bit of a rough a rough area within the road where the bluffs and the forest almost. And as you maneuver through this keyhole terrain, you are approaching yet another bridge. This one made of stone.
Just
You can
kind of
also hear. Sorry.
I was just expecting something to be on this bridge as well. He keeps an eye out on the road.
You can also hear the thundering sounds of a waterfall off to the left, as if you were to tumble over the edge of this bridge, you'd soon tumble over that as well. Billowing clouds of cold mist are rising from the depths below, and this great stone bridge spans the canyon. This impossibly deep canyon that you would swear is no less than 1,000 feet, and you're racing straight towards it.
Hold tighter.
The horses buck and whinny as they approach towards this crumbling bridge. At that point, both of you two who are within the driver's seat make dexterity saving throws as the wagon hits a rut within the ground and seems to launch. You can make a handle animal or whatever it is, a wagon check instead, Sven, the land vehicle. All right, Djukovic, you have become airborne. It all happens so slowly. You begin tumbling through the air. You're out of control. You're somersaulting. The whole wagon is in 3 feet in midair, like a bicycle hitting a ramp. What does the party do before he tumbles over into this 1,000-foot?
I'll grab onto the wagon with one hand and then throw out my other hand to try and grab him as he goes. If I miss him, there's not a whole lot I can do.
Just come to the window and it's like, slow motion as it's all happening.
So yeah, what kind of check do you want me to make to try and grab him, or is it too fast for me to do?
Make a strength saving throw as you have him within your grip, but he begins to slip. Beautiful.
I ignore the bless.
The old man has you, if only barely. You lean
I
back.
told you not to play around with that fucking piece of silver while we're moving at this speed.
I wasn't. Like you can't. It's not in his hands anymore. He was actually just kind of fucking rocketed it off.
Should have locked your belt to the carriage.
From this point on, I just kind of hold on to the reins as well, but not to help steer, just so if I ever get launched, I have something of a handhold.
Excellent.
Mind to tie the reins around them because they're no use to me with these willful horses.
These willful horses, they cause the carriage to swing around like a sling in a halfling's hands as they take these corners at paces far too fast to be safe, charging through some small hills, while a hill that is almost big enough to be called a mountain, or bald as it is, reaches up to your right. And you see another set of gates. Much like the ones you came through. Only these ones, the soldiers have, and the gates are open. If you were ever going to make, now would be the time. But you're quite comfortable.
If we were, you're roboting really bad, so I didn't catch that.
If there were ever, if there was ever going to be a chance to make a break, now would be it. But you're quite comfortable, aren't
Yeah,
we've
no
come this
one's
far.
even broached the subject, so.
I guess we haven't had a reason to yet. So.
We're in the carriage, can't do anything.
Yeah, can't do shit back here. Just holding on for dear life.
Holding on to
We're
our
in the carriage. We're in the carriage covered in wine.
Yeah.
Augustine sprays everywhere. You're wasting it.
Your destination must by now be clear. You are heading to the straight toward this looming castle, tall and perched as it is over on a mountain precipice overlooking the valley below. And this is what you see. You've wound through the forest, through the craggy mountain peaks. The road has taken it sudden toward the east, and the startling, awesome presence of this castle towers before you. And then the carriage comes to a dead stop between twin turrets and broken from years of exposure. Beyond these gate towers is a precipice, 50 feet wide chasm filled with fog, disappears down. Who knows how deep? There is a drawbridge that spans this expanse, and it's made up of old, short wooden beams stretching across this chasm, linking you to the arch on the other side of the courtyard. There are chains of the drawbridge creaking in the wind, rust-eaten iron straining under the weight of this massive bridge. And from atop the high walls, there are stone gargoyles staring down at you, hollow eye sockets, and these entities grin at you hideously. Portcullis, which is rotten. It's pulled up, but it's got this slimy green growth, almost organic, like something that might come out of a sick child's nose, hanging over the entry tunnel. And beyond this location, there are the main doors of this castle, and they stand up. There is a rich, warm light spilling out from within, flooding the courtyard, and there are torches that are fluttering sadly in the sconces on both sides of these open vaulting doors. The carriage comes to an immediate halt.
I like clumsily kind of open the door and like half fall out of the carriage. Like, never want to get in a fucking carriage ever again.
Nice driving, you old bastard.
Don't blame me for this.
Is this the princess's castle?
No, it's not.
Sorry, Mario.
Remind me to put some gyroscopic suspension in the next car we go on.
Can anyone clean this mess off of me? I'm covered in fucking wine.
Anton cast prestidigitation all around.
Thank you, Anton. Brushes her hair out, ties it up, flustered and frustrated. Right. So, we're here.
I grab another bottle of wine out of the carriage before we go in.
We bought you a gift. It's your own wine.
Now he's drinking it.
Thank you,
Class.
thank you. As I drink it,
Pretty run down looking place.
It's quite large though.
Anton is visibly appalled at like how uncivilized you guys are acting. But he's like,
it is
He's-
not too
he- he-
terrible.
yeah. he's
Can
become
I-
accustomed to that. He's lived in Slimberhaven a while.
Can I dwarf check this stonework?
You can. It's
He's called
it's
it a
old
check.
but sturdy. It's old but sturdy. It's as good as humans could do, but it's poorly maintained. You are surprised anyone would live in a ruin when, with enough funds, you could maintain it and make it something much more grand. It's a shame, really.
Looks like they're letting it just rot.
Is this supposed to be the lord of this place?
Perhaps.
He doesn't maintain his gates and he doesn't maintain his castle. What kind of a lord is he?
Does there seem to
Perhaps.
be any military presence at all?
The only presence you can sense is the bats. There are even though it's morning, even though it's late, there's still the screech of countless bats coming from within the higher echelons, the windows and the caves beneath this limestone precipice. So down there within the mist, as you look over the drawbridge, the valley below, you occasionally see it disturbed by the bats fighting among themselves. And of course, the howl of wolves. Somewhere out there in the distance, whether 2 miles or 10, you hear a wolf answer another wolf from a totally different direction. No guards,
God, I
no
hate
citizens, no chamberlain, no butler. Just the stampeding horses still chomping, but not crossing the draw.
I suppose
Fitting.
there's nothing for it then, hey? We're here now.
Yeah. Can we get my chest down?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my stuff's in there. I'll help you. Kind of clamber up there and begin untying the chest. Alright. Kind of sling my shield over my shoulder and my mace into my belt. Right. Shall we?
No one's
you've
stopping
got
us.
nowhere better to go.
Alright.
We'll start stumbling across the drawbridge.
Yeah. I'll take point.
It creaks and groans under the weight. And as these gargoyles lure down at you with their hollow eyes, you're really unsure if they're about to come alive, swoop down upon you. The flash of lightning occurs somewhere in the northern mountains. This is a valley that you're in. And there's mountains distant in the fog. You can see over a lot of the valley from where you are. It's quite it provides a fairly good vantage point. So now that you're at such an elevated position, I might reveal a fair bit more of that. This is one of the higher peaks in the although it can't compare to the mountain peaks that lie beyond the lake. Gives you a fairly commanding view of this valley as you're crossing over the crevice that disappears down below into the mist, and you can only imagine what depths lay beyond that. As the drawbridge groans and sags underneath you, chunks cracking underneath the weight of so many people, you reach the courtyard, and you can see thick, cold fog swirling through this. The weather worsens, it begins to rain. The dark clouds are being rained upon with this icy dazzle and drops of rain. And by the time you've crossed the courtyard, that rain has become quite steadily heavy. There are sporadic flashes of light, lancing the weeping clouds over. Thunder shakes the ground, and throughout the drizzle, these torches on either side of the main doors, they flutter in the gusts of frosty wind. But a warm light spills out from the entrance. High above the entrance is a round window, has shards of broken glass lodged into its iron frame. You stand at the edge of this magnificent castle, and it's truly a foreboding scene.
Look a lot nicer if they kept it nicer.
Yeah. It's quite run down.
Let's get in before we're all soaked to the bone, eh?
It's cold out. Yeah, let's get in here.
All right. Determined as you are, make sure I take you to the right spot. I was not. It's a very open-ended mission. I was not anticipating you coming.
As we're walking,
Let me
does
guess, we
Djokovic-
just skip straight to the final boss fight.
Now he kills Strahd.
now we die.
Strahd speedrun.
Arctic sends a carriage out to pick us up personally. I didn't expect you to go here.
I didn't. Yeah.
As we walk
Alright.
inside, does Djokovic feel any eyes like looking at him?
Make an insight check. Perhaps you think you see a shadow move among one of the towers within. I'm debating whether or not to take you over to this map to show you what it's like. It's a very complex card, and it can be very difficult to explain what it looks like, but all too revealing when you. So I have an idea.
Paint.
This
Yes,
might. Yeah.
When he sees the eye, or when he sees like the shadow, he kind of stops in his tracks for a second. He goes, "I don't like this place, guys. I have a bad feeling. The 8 ball doesn't agree with me. Agrees with me. Sorry.
Well, I told you the cart gave me the crepes from the start, yet here we are.
Didn't know it would take us here.
We can turn back if you want.
Don't you think it's a good idea to maybe talk to the villagers and see what this place is like? Rumors or something. I thought I saw someone staring at us from up there." And he points to where he saw the shadow.
Well, the castle's bound to be populated if there's light in there.
Why isn't there people everywhere?
Skeleton crew, I don't know.
It might be smart to introduce ourselves to the lords and nobles of the land, especially when not from around here. Maybe,
Exactly.
Both. I don't like it, and the place is obviously, it's very.
Creepy.
Yeah, it is. It's very creepy.
I think we'll be very clear we've been summoned essentially, and we're here. It'd be very odd to turn back and walk all the way back down the mountain now.
It was a nice castle.
That looks pretty.
Dugovich will just fall to the back of the party and kind of keep bit high strung now, just kind of keeping an eye out, looking around.
Is the entrance where the little tiny house is?
No, you come in from the west, so like you don't actually see the entrance. The drawbridge it comes off that northwest side, if it will, the top left side.
Alright.
I can't ping it obviously.
Yeah, the face
You're-
that we can't see on the left side.
Precisely, exactly the opposite of where you might come in. You come in from the opposite. All right. So you're now in the courtyard, and you are able to walk straight in the front doors, or skirt around to either the left or the right if you prefer.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
make
Anton's just gonna march in the front door.
I'm gonna make a note to conceal my holy symbol, my pendant. I'm gonna just tuck that into my shirt, underneath my armor, and follow. Who was it, Warwick?
Anton.
Anton.
I'll follow in as well.
It's an incredibly complex castle, so it's going to take me a while to.
Dugovich will probably take out one of his little cube contraptions and imbue his scent into the cube, and ready it whenever he needs it.
The smell cube.
Smell cube. So I have one sight cube, one smell cube, and I have one more I can use if I need to.
Alright, here we have some Ravenloft maps. It gives you a lot of maps. It's really good, but difficult to tell which I should be using.
Oh, and he'll use the last cube to type in text. We should leave now. And then when he presses the button, it'll pop up and say that in visual effects. That's the last thing. Sorry.
Not a problem at all. Okay. Forgive me as I move through the various maps and the various text as well. But the main thing is that Anton has walked into the front door. Yeah. Okay. Main floor. Here we are. You walk into the end. There's an ornate set of doors of the castle, and they're hanging open. They're flanked by these fluttering torches in their iron sconces. 20 feet within inside the castle, there is a second set of doors. Clearly, this is a defensive area. In front of you, the doors suddenly swing open, and those second set of doors swing open, and they reveal a grand hall. That grand hall is filled with the sound of organ music.
Happy organ music?
Is organ music ever happy?
I'm sure there are some happy songs that you can play on an organ.
Circuses
Overhead.
have organs.
Good point. Good point. And even that sounds creepy. Let's.
Are they playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
I can't remember what passage it is. Yeah. That's
We all know exactly what song is playing.
Inside the foyer that you're just looking inside at the moment is you statues of dragons, magnificent dragons, each as big as a horse, and they peer down as they're ready to pound or perhaps breathe fire upon any who step within.
I shove Anton forward because he was so keen of getting in there anyway.
Anton, he's a halfling. He's brave. He'll lead the charge. The charge of the Light Brigade, perhaps.
Okay, I think at this point I'll bring us on to the. Well, then what? Do you have any dark vision?
I
You got
don't,
no dark
no.
vision, do you?
But if it requires it, I'll cast light. Either just on something that I have, an item of mine.
Alright,
It should. There are torches, but
Oh,
since
okay,
we
sure.
leveled up, I'll need my dark vision modified because I've got Devil's Sight. So
Oh,
it's
good.
120.
Devil sight.
I'll bring out Mindaris, but we'll just probably leave him at the front entrance. Is Roland a robot or something? Who's
It was
Roland?
He was the first
Rumbling
guy.
Roots.
Yeah.
We assume he's rumbling roots.
Right.
Yeah, he's the guy that said he would be playing and then never showed up.
Sure, yeah. Alright. Djukovic, again, you're not going to need the light, so it's a bit confusing. I'll open these doors. Alright, now, yeah, that works. Okay, I think everyone is good. Take us over. So this room is the room that has the dragon statues in. Each of them, the size of a horse. Its wings perched, ready to pounce. Their jaws large enough to snap your skull with a single bite. And we push little Anton ahead.
That's correct.
You're able to move your token.
I'm
Freely.
seeing from everyone.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. I'll have to. I mustn't have set them properly. Good. Glenway should be done. Yeah, I don't think I knew who was who.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, another one set. Forecaster. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. The people who've changed their names, it makes it a lot easier. Yeah. Another one. Mindaris, I'll change you as well. Fine.
So dark.
So,
Oh That is dark. Wow.
I shall put a little bit of light down here because there would be some light outside. It's day.
Have I got my dark vision on? Or...
It should all. I think. I might be wrong, but I thought it was. I'll check. Yeah, you got your dark vision set up.
Cool.
Shall we knock?
Doors open.
Well, it's always polite to knock, though.
I call out through the open door. Hello?
It
Hello?
echoes.
Anton starts walking through.
You're entering towards the great entry. Into a room that has cobwebs stretched between the columns that support this vaulted ceiling. It's a great dusty hall and it's dimly lit by clutter in their iron sconces. These torches, they cast shadows across the face of 8 stone gargoyles that squat on the rim. There is cracked and faded ceiling frescoes covered with decay all over the roof, and a double set of bronze doors standing east. Towards the north, a wide staircase climbs off into dark, and there is a lit hallway to the south. It contains another set of bronze doors, and it's through these that you hear yet majestic.
Through these doors down here.
Yeah, that must be those doors.
And what's this thing in the corner here? Just like a suit of armor?
Yeah, suit
That
of
is.
armor.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's investigate the noise, I guess.
Yeah, I kind
You
of.
said that was where the music was coming from?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
point
behind
down to this door.
closed bronze door.
Alright, yeah, Anton's gonna head in that direction.
Very begrudgingly follow through the doors and kind of take my last look outside and then kind of follow.
Strange. Dirty inside, no upkeep anywhere, and no people, but there's music.
Does this suit of armor seem to replicate the appearance of the soldiers at the gates? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, good. That's a
Um,
really great observation.
Did you update mine to 120?
I did not. I did not.
Oh yeah, because I can see normally. It's not even dim light. I can see normally.
Oh,
to
right. It's not
120.
even dim. Okay,
Because
cool.
yeah, Devil Sight
So I'll get-
Indicate.
It's that. That must be bright for you, as.
It's
Yeah,
that.
well,
There's one trick that'll make your DM hate you.
sure it is. So you're in Torchlight, where it's fluttering up against the walls of this vault. Towards the east, you might notice a vaulted arch stairway stretching 20 feet, and a hallway, sorry, that stretches 20 feet and ends in a spiral staircase that goes both up and down. Near the hallway, there's a suit of armor. It's oiled and it's glistening. It stands to attention in the shallow alcove. On large double doors hanging steady bright light escaping through, and the organ music, it swells and comes from behind these doors, spilling the melody and the power of this music, the power of defeat into the hall. It's but a song of victory, but a brutal victory, powerful and sinister.
And the armor is the only thing clean?
More or less, yeah. There's a lot of cobwebs in this hall, a lot of dust. The armor has a little bit of dust, but it's also lovely and oiled, kept in great condition. A suit of plate mail that is in surprising. pristine condition.
Can I lift the visor?
There's no one in there.
Is it like on a rack?
Make a sleight of hand check. It is not on a rack. It is freestanding. You open the visor and it sways and rocks and it almost falls apart, but not quite. Just stands.
Strange. It's not even on a rack.
Have
Perfectly
you never
assembled.
seen a freestanding suit of armor?
But like, not even. But like, who does that? Come on.
Anton shakes his head and opens the door.
It's for wearing.
All right. Room is quite bright, as you might expect from such a magnificent set of doors. There are three enormous, brightly illuminating this magnificent pillars of stone stand against dull white marble walls supporting the ceiling, and in the center of the room, table covered with white satin cloth. The table is laden with many delectable foods, beast basted in savory sauce, roots and herbs of every taste, sweet fruits, vegetables, and there is a place set for each of you. Fine wine, delicate china and silk, a crystal goblet with amber. It all smells delightful and tantalizing. In the center of the far west wall, between floor to ceiling mirrors, is a massive organ. Its pipes are blaring this thunderous melody. It speaks its tone in both greatness and despair. And seated facing away from you is a caped figure. A man with broad shoulders, as slick as night. And he pounds at these keys in a raptured ecstasy. Only the figure suddenly stops, and a deep silence falls over the hall. And a man turns towards you. He has a gaunt feature, a stern jaw, a long aquiline nose, and a widow's hand for a man of his age. Come dine, says your host as he gestures towards the table.
Say that again, you cut out.
Please come and dine.
Anton's gonna step inside and like bow at the waist and say, "Thank you for inviting us, my lord."
Welcome to Castle Ravenloft. I trust you will enjoy your stay in my domain.
You play the organ very well. I say it, I kind of take a seat.
Do you have an ear for music?
Ooh, I do.
Tell me, from where have you come and why? I do not get many visitors to my realm.
We come from Slumberhaven. I'm not sure quite where that is in relation to here. As a matter of fact, we're not quite certain where here is actually. Might I ask your name, my lord? We're unfamiliar with these lands.
I am Strahd von Zarovi. This is Ravenloft, and you are in the valley of Barovia. You may Barovia on your travels.
I can't recall any lands like that anywhere near Slumberhaven.
I have never heard of this place. But your carriages are very fast and very fun.
And it pleases me to know that you have enjoyed yourself so far in my domain. You are welcome to stay as long as you like.
It is appreciated.
We're actually intending to pass through your lands, I believe, my lord. We're intending to seek out. Yeah, what was the princess of Slumber Haven's name?
Just like normally called the White Princess. I think Crystal is her name.
We're venturing to the White Princess's castle.
Then I wish you the best on your journeys.
Um, would you happen to know which way it is from here?
I cannot say that I do. I can tell you that Barovia lies to the east, Valaki lies to the west. I do not know of your Silver Princess or Slumber Haven.
Perhaps you could tell us of how we came to be here then. We had left our town of Slumber Haven and along the same road that we always had. Not much had changed, save for a thick fog and a rolling mist, and now here we are in your castle.
Perhaps you were bewitched by fairies. It seems fairies can sometimes lead astray, even stalwart of mine.
Curious, yeah.
But you are here now, and please, I ask you to make yourselves at home. Enjoy the hospitality available in Castle and the Valley of Barovia. Prospers.
Thank you for your hospitality, Lord Zarovich. And Anton will seat himself at the table, I suppose.
There is a chilling laughter from your host. He even erupts into mocking laugh, and suddenly the light stops. You're left alone as a cold wind blows through the car. And bone chilling it is, roaring through the hole, through the and slamming these heavy doors shut and blowing out all of your take a while, take care of. I imagine you may then illuminate them again, so I won't bother extending.
Juva should check the doors, make sure they're not locked.
The doors are not.
Okay.
How did he disappear in front of us?
Just vanished in a so much. Maybe it was the gust of wind, maybe it was the slamming of the doors. Perhaps you all took your eyes off him for a second, but
Did anyone see him leave?
Nay, and I'm getting a very ominous feeling about this place.
It was strange, wasn't it? He was there and then he was gone. I felt I took my eyes off of him for all of but half a second.
Maybe he's like an eccentric wizard.
Or a ghost.
Can I search the room to see if there are any hidden entrances or exit?
anything in particular, any place in specific? It's a pretty big room. You could spend all day here if you.
Maybe something to do with the the
Alright, make an investigation.
Throw you the magic 8-ball. Oh, I'm gonna pass it to you because technically it's a touch spell. So I pass you the magic 8-ball and give you guidance.
Roll again. Alright, there's you look around the organ, but there's apart from its size, there's nothing.
Hey, check underneath his seat.
Nothing there.
Did you say the doors were locked?
The doors are not locked. No,
Were they open?
you can.
Oops. Actually, I went through them. And it would have been that the lights were all out, so.
Yeah, I can't work out how to turn them off.
That's right.
Is it like a global illumination thing?
I don't think so. Let's see if this might turn it off. They're on the dynamic light. These lights.
Ooh, that dimmed one.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
is it
turning
gonna-
them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
right.
right. I didn't know, but if you put if you're on the dynamic lighting layer, they.
Oh, so they don't have
Yes.
little mini on our layer, but the light still comes through.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what Roll20 does. Is they normally put them on the object layer, but in this case they put them on the
That's pretty neat.
lighting layer. So I couldn't, yeah.
There you go.
Who's holding a torch is the real question.
Yeah, I'll just use the light. I'll put it on my oh gosh, just like take out a torch and cast light on the torch, not actually light it.
Does the same thing.
Mm. So
Okay, so Lenway, you should be lit up.
yeah, perfect. Are we leaving now? We've introduced ourselves. Gave me the creeps. Gave us the creeps. He's gone. Are we
You
just?
said
I think it's advisable we depart.
he did say
Yes,
we could
it's-
enjoy ourselves here, so I think we're right. Let's go.
We didn't even get to eat.
We can eat later.
Yeah.
So the food on the table looks really good, right?
It smells good too.
Sven's gonna grab something on the way out, like a little drumstick. Or...
Just like, yeah, chicken leg just on the way out.
These doors slam shut. Sorry, I'm not. But these doors slam as you head out.
Yeah. I'll guess Dukovic should try to
Yeah.
open.
Yeah, Augustine will try as well.
Everyone make perception check. Alright. Those of you who get over 10, notice 2 of the gargoyles come to life. There's 8 gargoyles ringing this room, lurch into life and lean down as if to prey upon the 2 men trying to open the door. If you everyone can roll for, but unless you got a 10 or higher, you can't act on it.
Surprise.
I'm completely oblivious.
Takes you 2 rounds.
Alright, is that everyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So, Anton. Alright, these leering statues, gargoyles with hollowed out no longer leering, but are now leaning. They seem to animate. Their skin is still the pebbly stone that it was before, but reaching down towards Duke of Kent and his companion.
He's gonna call out and say, "Watch out!" and draw his rapier.
All right, you can do that as part of your move. You've still got an action if you want to.
And he's going to inspire August.
All right. Len Way.
Yeah, seeing
There
the,
are all these gargoyles leering around you, but two of them.
sure. So, seeing this one kind of animate next to Djukovic, my left hand kind of grasps the pendant, and the right hand kind of extends towards him. I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith.
All right. Augustin, yep, you
I'll
Yeah.
I'll just Sacred Flame the gargoyle next to Djukovic with my action.
excellent. The gargoyle hisses as it looks towards you. You get its attention as you burn at its skin. That's probably on GM low. No, it's not, is it? You can see that, right?
See the gargoyle?
Yeah, did you see the gargoyles roll? The 8?
Yeah.
Excellent. And so it holds up its stone wing to deflect against the blast. Your flash of sacred flame breaks off part of its upper. Augustin, you are oblivious to this danger. Or stone. You're facing creatures that have real stone hide.
I rolled a 5, so.
You well, excellent, Sven. Sven, you get a 10 high. You're able to see this as it unfolds.
Yeah, I Sven will charge towards this one and try and drive his spear two-handed into its.
Alright.
Drops his chicken leg.
No, he's got the chicken leg
Got
in
that
his
in the
mouth.
mouth.
Still. Just a 10.
Alright, your the stone skin of the gargoyle is far too strong. Your spear seems blunt by comparison. You didn't you? Yeah. You see him coming in to swoop down upon you.
Yeah, I guess he kind of sees it out of the corner of his eye. Dugovic will disengage as an action.
Yeah.
Take 5, 10, 15, 20 feet back. And then he will just nah, he's not gonna do anything else. That's his turn.
The gargoyles. One of them engages Sven, who dares to challenge, and happy to rend with his claws and bite with his stone jaws. Do either of those hit? On Sven?
On Sven, yeah. They both hit.
They both hit. All right, scratch. The gargoyle begins to rend the life from you. It seems that you may be taking on more than you can handle in this this attempt to redefine yourself as a. We left behind a suit of armor back. Anyway. Meanwhile, the other gargoyle leaps down upon the unsuspecting Augustin and has advantage on both attacks as it bites his neck from behind and rakes its claws along his back. 22 and 14 on August.
That's it.
13. Are you still standing?
Yep.
You've got this 500-pound stone driving you, buckling your knees as it crushes you into the ground and rends your soft flesh with its own hard teeth. Anton, this is a battle we cannot win. And look at your use as a rape against creatures made of stone.
Well, fuck it. He's gonna try stabbing the one attacking Augustine. And because that technically counts as flanking, right?
There's no flanking in 5th edition.
But there is. It's just an optional roll, and not all DMs use it.
Yeah, good call. More importantly, there's but you do get your advantage. Like us, the rogues get their sneak attack, not advantage, but sneak attack when there's an enemy within 5 feet of your target. So you don't get any bonus to hit, but you still get your.
Yeah, you should actually be grateful that flanking is an optional rule, because the important thing about a rule like that is that if it works for you, it works for all enemies.
Yeah, I'm aware.
It's very good 3rd edition. I think it's very bad. That's my opinion. Rapier is entirely ineffective against the scraping sound that you might expect from dragging a knife.
Yeah, see.
He's also gonna inspire Sven. Sorry.
Inspiring Sven. Sven, you are given the courage of the little man.
Seeing Djukovic kind of run back now from out of reach of this fellow here, I'll cease concentration on the Shield of Faith, and instead I'm going to cast Bane. So I run my finger along the edge of a hand axe, and with that drop of blood, I kind of my hand sweeps across the two of them, and cast Bane. So it's a Charisma saving throw of DC 12.
The spell works as you expect, save for one. The wound doesn't stop bleeding. It won't be until after the battle where you wrap it in a bandage that you finally stop bleeding from what was little more than a wisdom saves.
It's charisma.
Charisma.
It'd be even worse. They have -2 to them. So it's actually a 5 and a 2.
Cool. So it's D4 subtracted from attack rolls and saving throws. And I'm gonna kind of just step back a little bit, and then end my turn.
Okay, Austin, you suddenly come to the awareness that a stone monster is riding your back and driving you into this concrete below. The cobble.
Fuck. And I draw my rapier, and with the blessing of the little one and his assistance, I will sneak attack the shit out of this one.
How can a man face a stone statue with such a flimsy blade?
With great trepidation.
Huh. What is... how do you... a weapon? It should be ineffective, and yet...
You go for the joints.
Beautiful. You snap off one of its wings, and it breaks. The wing shatters into 1,000 pieces as it lands on the stone.
Then, as a bonus action, I will disengage and run the fuck away.
All right, you flip it, and Anton, it turns its attention to you.
Alright, I've earned this.
Or Sternhard.
Alright, Old Sven is on his last legs from a glance.
Indeed.
Borg's gonna rush over, and annoyed that that statue's got the drop on him of all things. He's gonna rage and reckless attack the gargoyle
Alright.
with his great axe. Oh, natural 20.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Oh, whoa.
That's how you barbarian. Barbarians and criticals, man, they just go together.
18 damage on that one.
Destructive. Truly destructive. And you chip away, breaking much of its stone, causing it to crack and to crumble. But the gargoyle holds together through the force of magic, and its claw is still as sharp, and its fangs just as vicious.
All attacks until the start of my next round are at advantage against me.
All right, Sven, you're reeling from that last blow.
Yes, Sven kind of staggers a step or two. That was a fucking solid hit. He's a bit concussed even. Stumbles about. Okay, I need to do this. Cast Armor of Agath. So he kind of lowers his stance a bit, and then kind of frosty air starts to come about him like he's getting serious.
Beautiful. The armor manifests as a suit of bones, like a rib cage, encases you with frost. Zukovic.
He will. He's actually gonna throw a fairy fire. So it's range 60 feet in a 20-foot cube. Oh, will that target friendlies as well? Each object or 20-foot cube or any creature in this area with spells cast is outlined in the light. If it fails, it will. Okay, so no, I won't do that then. I guess he's just gonna walk forward 2 spaces, kind of, and then plonk the spider on Sven's back, and it'll crawl inside his clothing and give him a cure wounds.
Right.
So that's 5
Bitten
points
by the
of
love
healing.
spider.
Yeah. And then no, he won't cast on the spell. He's just gonna move back another 20 feet, 30 feet toward next to Augustin and wait for his turn then.
All right. The gargoyles, furious at the turn of events, deliver all the fury that they can. Bite and claw. Ooh.
Who's that against?
That's against you.
Cool.
Against Aura.
Oh.
So 5 and 3.
Nice. So you're still standing after that. And the second one ravages Anton. 20. You're bitten on the shoulder, Anton, by these stone
Oh wait, that second hit
fangs.
doesn't hit me. Sorry.
Doesn't even hit?
No.
Wondered that. The stone fangs that bite through your shoulder all the way to your bone, where they scratch against your club. Anton, you have a gargoyle that is biting you right now. It's latched on.
Well, he's seen this thing can be hurt with a rapier. He's gonna try again. And you're just like stabbing upward with it.
It's a great hit. You break away, and one of its arms shatters and tumbles down on the stone, breaks into 100 different pieces. But it fights on, seemingly impervious to pain. Lenway, the doors stand closed before you. They are locked, but they are locked from this side. Meanwhile, the gargoyles are ravenously tearing into your ally.
Yeah, I'll turn to Augustin as he runs past me, and I kind of I hold out my hand and touch him on the shoulder. And you know, the light of the sun warms your bones here, friend. Cure wounds.
Ooh, very nice. Ooh,
You're back in business.
I'm back.
And then
Back in
You're
black.
not a scratch upon you.
And I'm going to rush to Anton's side, try and help him out. And that's turn.
As your wounds heal, Augustin, it's not without pain. It feels as if your muscles are knitting themselves together, wrapping themselves around your bone, and blood is painfully surging into the previously bruised area. But once the process is gone, once the seconds of agony concludes, you're left without any sign that you were damaged. Healing didn't heal like this in your experience. It doesn't.
Healing didn't hurt at home.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. I will. Rush forward again and try to fit in here, getting past the laneway. And with my rapier, I will strike at him again.
All right.
Going for the other wing. Oh, I miss. I'm terrible.
But your metal slaps against the wing, and all it does is blunten your blade. Warwick, don't.
I will no. As a bonus action, I will dash back 10 feet.
Okay, so take of opportunity.
I guess 2 actually, since I'm going over here.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I have to go.
They scratch and they claw.
1 miss, 1 hit. So I take 3 damage.
A little more than tearing up your cloak and leaving a graze down your back.
Is your AC higher than 16?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the D. Thanks for
Yeah,
that.
that's all.
Oh yeah, the D4s.
Sven.
I shall.
Oh, jump past me there.
Did I? Warwick, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just try and finish off this stony fucker. What's it? Reckless attack again.
It's a great hit, but even the power of this blow is not enough to shatter it. You see cracks opening up in it, and the mortar within the cement, the dust of the stone beginning to fall out. But it will take another blow or two of those of that.
If I knew we were fighting statues, I would have brought a hammer.
Oh, Sven.
I am going to strike it with a booming blade.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, and I'm the wrong button there. I gotta add the thing on. 15.
15. That breaks through. It's crusty skin, but only barely. You are laid in between the two previous cracks.
11 points of damage, and just ignore that 3. If it moves away, it takes it. But
Okay. It's crumbling and splitting before your eyes. Your blade, your spear rumbling within it, but the gargoyle refuses to die. Djukovic. One of them is held together with
Sorry, yeah, you're a bit roboty there. Sorry, what would you say?
very sad to hear. One is crumbling.
Yep.
One is
Yeah, Djukovic is gonna line up the one that's crumbling, and he's gonna try something he hasn't done before. He's gonna line up his crossbow, and he's gonna try out an experimental, like a spring-loaded propulsion onto the crossbow, and he engages it, and he's gonna take the sharpshooter -5 penalty for an extra 10 damage.
alright.
And he's gonna just take a normal shot. Just why not? That won't hit. I guess he like throw the bolt out in a random direction, and he just kind of curses and loads another one.
The mathematics is not yet. You need to work on your device.
Does not compute.
That's right. Seeing how recklessly, how vulnerable he is, and how dangerous indeed, the gargoyles all close in from both directions and attempt to make short work the now vulnerable dwarf. By claw,
Never tried better than that.
claw.
Yep, they will have to try better than that. Okay, so 1 hit for 5 damage.
Bites you on the neck into your jugular zone like a vampire.
That 15 can take the D4.
It's at advantage, so.
Oh, I see.
That-
Oh, right, because you reckless attack.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's my bad.
so it's a critical. Yeah.
Yep, sure.
I am not even bloodied yet.
You have a gargoyle drinking your blood.
Get out of it.
The statue thing, the denizen, has its back to you now.
Yeah, when it comes to these things, he's not an honorable man. He's stabbing it in the back.
Excellent. You find some crack to it.
It's not letting me open my sheet now. Just a sec.
He'll roll 20.
Ooh, halfling luck.
Ah,
Oh, nice.
halfling luck.
Oh,
baby.
hello.
Alright.
Wow, hey.
Tell us how your awful strike actually ends up being magic. What is it that you do that's terrible but also terrible?
I'm short. So I stab up and get my rapier cracked in it, and like trying to wedge it out, I like split it,
Perfect.
like the gargoyle's back open.
Excellent. And hey, you got your sword back too.
Yep.
Alright, Len. They have to crumble, particularly the one that the dwarf has been focused.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of shift in here, and as I kind of move away from the one that Anton struck at, I'm gonna kind of swing wide with the mace and kind of like bring it across and up, arcing upwards across my body, trying to hit it in the head.
Great.
But I assume a 7 misses. That's all good, and I'll
It does.
stay there.
It bats you with its wing and pushes you away before you can get close enough to strike. Augustin, these things are crumbling, but not.
I will do the classic move of move in, strike, and move out.
You're good at that.
I miss.
You're
I
slapped.
disengage as a bonus action and move out.
You're excellent. The strength, not so much. Vorag, you're different, dancing a different sort of.
Well, the one behind me can stay there for now, and I'll try and finish off the one in front of me. With advantage once again. 15?
Crunch. You
Hey.
break through shell, and it crumbles before your eyes. Its wing claws, its skull collapsing onto the ground and shattering much mace.
And I'd turn around, sort of shrugging off the one that was clung to my back, and to face it.
It knows no fear. You shake it off and face it. It comes at you, half of its face is crumbled. Sven, there is a door, or it is closed to gargoyle, and yet more leer on. At any moment, who knows if one of these others could enter some sort of semblance of life. Are you muted?
Yes, I was.
Excellent.
I will attempt to strike at that one. Yes.
Very good. Unfortunately, your arm feels weak and tight. Again, you are left questioning yourself if maybe this is young. Jukovic, you're a young man. Do some work.
Do I have a clear shot on the gargoyle? With my bow, light crossbow?
Ooh, no, not clear at all. It's chaos in there.
Yeah, thought so. In that case.
Sharpshooter ignores cover.
Oh, yeah, it ignores all cover.
Yeah, so it won't affect you. The presence of people won't.
Okay, then yeah. So I haven't used sharpshooter ever, so.
Excellent.
Yeah, I will. You know what? He readjusts the spring-loaded portion of his crossbow, and he's gonna try and do another one, just in case. I better just quickly take out that. See if that works. Yes. So I've just taken off the +5, so that's the -5.
Right.
So, and then I'm guessing a 19 hits,
Sure does.
and then that will be the damage. That's
Oh.
already has the +10, so that's just the damage there.
So tell us how this was fairly good condition despite its crash. Suddenly,
Sorry, you cut out there.
tell us how it died.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess Dukovic kind of realigns the springs so that they're even pressure and kind of takes a knee, lines up the shot, and as Sven kind of thrusts with his spear, it would basically go underneath his arm and straight into the stone golem's eye, if it has one, and just cracks its head and it takes it off.
Breaks it open like a chicken emerging from. All is quiet.
Well, I guess we should get out, and I will unlock the door.
I have some bad news.
More gargoyles.
No. Don't you remember what was on the other side of the door?
A dragon.
There were 4 statues of dragon size of horses. perched, and their wings sprawl, their mouths open, ready to strike. There are now 3 stat dragon. The dragon is perched a vantage point over, commanding from its, and it looks down at you and smiles, and you can see the flame mouth as if it's torn to take that fateful step. The door is closed. It is locked. The only thing that stands between you and is a locked door. Party pauses, looks at each other as the flames flicker within the dragon's mouth.
I will, like, psyching myself up for to the door. I guess I use the dodge action before I move, and I will rush towards the door.
All right. Roll for initiative.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so take yourself back to the door.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I will.
Yeah. The dragon smiles. It could.
Right. Oof. Sven.
This might be my time to die.
Alright.
Rorik Stonehide, you see that Augustin's making a break.
Well, I'm not gonna let him go in alone. So, 5. Can I walk up along this wall, or is it like all
Yep.
statue?
There's these dragon statues in each of the corner, but that's
Oh, okay.
apart from that, it's
I thought it was
quite clear.
lined with statues. And I would like to recklessly attack it then. Well, rage first, and reckless, unless my rage is still going. Okay. Yeah, I'll use my rage then, and recklessly attack it again, swinging without. Oh no! I'll just use my inspiration. Natural 20. So that's 26.
It's a colossal blow, an absolutely colossal blow. Would you like to describe what is this dragon's up on a pedestal like a cat atop a tower.
Yeah.
It's ready to perch. It's ready to breathe fire. Before it gets a chance to engulf you in flame, how do you deliver the perfect strike?
So it's a bit off the ground.
Yeah.
I guess like I just sort of run up and then like sort of half run up the wall, leap off it, and then put all my weight behind the strike. Like an overhead cut. But like dwarves, I'd assume hold their great axe one hand right underneath the head of the axe and the other head at the like the end of the handle. So like putting my whole shoulder and weight and turning my whole body into the cut.
You drive the dragon straight to the ground. The column that it was standing on topples, smashes and shatters at you. The dragon is against the ground by the weight of your axe and your body.
And that is my turn.
Anton, it was an impressive maneuver, one worthy of writing a screenplay for.
I'll work on it. Wait, was that dragon destroyed?
No, it's got an axe lodged in its head, but it's not destroyed.
Okay. Anton. Okay. He's gonna take cover at the wall and attempt to viciously mock it.
If ever there were a
Just
time to mock
Man, you couldn't.
He's gonna yell, "Eat it, hell beast!"
Man, you couldn't even boil a pot of tea.
That's it.
A 10.
Truly, he is
So-
eating it.
4 psychic damage as I hurt its feelings.
Yeah, you make it question whether it's really worth guarding one of the most famous castles in Dungeons and Dragons.
Do I get paid enough?
Well, inspired by Voig's show of bravery and prowess, I cannot let him fight this thing alone. So I will rush to his side and stick the pointy end of my right. Le dragon, le dragon.
So the dwarf has just brought this dragon down from literally from its pedestal and brought it down to earth again, literally. And as it sprawls around on the floor, flapping its wings and scratching and being mocked while it does it, you run in, deliver a look.
And yes, after that vicious strike, I shall step up to the door.
Beautiful. All right, beautiful. How much was that?
Indeed.
11?
11 and 8, so
19.
19. All right. These pair are crippling this creature and pinning it against the ground. It's panicking and writhing, but it's far from dead.
Okay, I'm going to kind of like run into the doorway here, and I'm gonna pull out a hand axe and just toss it, just straight at this thing.
Underarm?
All right.
Nah, it's not even like not even over. It's like a sidearm, kind of like
Yeah, it's like a skip and a rock.
yeah, exactly, like a boomerang or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Nice, and then
Where was the natural 20?
that so it like hits the wall, hits the floor, and I kind of just like look at it at the wall, then at the floor, then at you guys, and then kind of just peel back, and that's turn.
Alright, that's right. And no one's in a good position to breathe fire upon. It will breathe fire nonetheless. It's in the dwarf that wedged its head with that axe. It sees it rear its face up towards him, and from point blank range, it opens up its mouth and lets out an exhaust of DC 13. Dex
I
save.
have advantage.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Does Anton have cover from that?
However, I am unconscious.
You have been roasted. And
Uh,
dwarf is burnt star. Anton?
Do I have cover from that?
Yeah, it's only directed at the dwarf. He can't get an arc against me. Yeah, I don't think you can get an arc that would. Oh, maybe you're right. But anyway, I think the way I thought of it, you'd be fine. So we'll keep going with that. It's only 15 feet, so yeah. So okay, it wouldn't reach now. But it blasts you, and you feel the radiant heat. And when you look back, the The dwarf seems to be nothing but roasted.
Anton's missing his eyebrows.
Yeah. You don't look. Jukovic, he was a valiant dwarf. He was our friend.
Okay. Duvich was 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, there's no light in here. Okay. There's a little bit of light. 15, 20. Is it just in this? Because there is a little bit of light. Is it just the one wyvern there?
There are 3 statues of dragons and one living dragon.
One living. Okay, that's cool. I will. I'm gonna stand behind Vorik. I'm going to take out my last spider that I have, and I'm going to place it down inside of his shirt, and it's gonna start clinking away and healing any wounds he has for 9 points. And then so 20 is there. I'm gonna so 20, 25, 30. Stand behind Augustin.
Did you move through its
Sorry?
Did you move through its attack range?
I didn't think so. Oh, I would have. Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that then. I guess I'd move back out. I don't want to get fried. So 20, 25, 30. That's stand at the door. That's as far as I can go. And
Excellent.
I guess I'd ready the crossbow for the next attack.
Cool. You start knocking it as fast as
Sven charges in with his spear held up, shouting at Vorig, "Don't you dare go ahead of me, you bastard!"
I want to die.
And I'll bonus action hex before I.
Beautiful.
Mum says my turn on the wyvern killing spree.
This this creature scales out. But the accuracy of your straight.
There it is.
Roll your weapon damage too.
Yeah, weapon damage as well.
So 12 damage.
That's 4. It's good. It's a great hit. And
disadvantage on strength checks.
It fumbles around, skewered like a dragon kebab. You're lying on the ground, Vorig. It's disgraceful. What work to do?
My axe still in my hand. I'll try and jump back on my feet. And use my half my movement to get up. The rage is sapped out of me. However, I will still throw caution to the wind and attack recklessly. With advantage. Oh, unfortunate.
Recklessly indeed. You almost let go of your axe in the process. The dragon sees in you an excellent time. Although it's breathing in deeply, ready to spout flame upon all of you first. To roast you before. Anton, this dragon will shoot if given the chance. You're running out of time.
Knowing that he needs to do something about this dragon, he's going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on it.
Wisdom.
Yep, wisdom save, if you please.
Dragon is very sensitive to your insults and
Bards are
and
basically
stuff.
living proof that words can hurt.
Indeed. And so the dragon can't stop laughing. It keeps coughing up little cops, bits of flame, and they come out in a circle, and that just makes the dragon laugh more comedy of it all. The fact
So-
that you would have loved this early in your career, it's just the dragon can't rolling and laughing that you fell for such a simple trap.
Is it made of stone or is it an actual dragon?
Well, it's not anymore. It's a real dragon now.
No, I thought it was like a gargoyle dragon.
Yeah, no, it's a real dragon. Yeah, it's old school.
Yeah. So to remind you, since I don't even have that imported down on my sheet yet, it's prone, incapacitated, and unable to stand up. And it can make a wisdom saving throw every turn, or if it takes damage.
You could import it from the I button. It should be in there, or maybe I think it's in there.
I think it's just hideous laughter in the compendium.
Yeah, it might even be under Tasha's now because I've got the legal version of it.
Yeah,
You just type in
Yeah,
laughter.
if you type in, I got it.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah,
import-
and then you can just drag it onto your character sheet, and it should ask you if you want to accept from compendium. I think that's
And just do it.
Okay.
cool. So go ahead and press it now if it's low. Good. All right. It's incapacitated, and a laughing, giggling dragon writhing around, kicking, and things going in all directions. Little coughs of smoke coming out. It's kind of funny. What do you
Anton
reckon,
giggles
House?
despite himself.
So, since it's prone and I am within 5 feet, I have advantage on its attack.
You got it.
Oh. Better than nothing.
Beautiful blow. And with its exposed belly, the gut, but you miss the heart by inches. You rip your sword out. It might die of blood loss alone if Alenway will let.
By the way, it gets a saving throw at advantage because it was damaged.
Thank you for that.
What's the DC?
But
Oh, never
Natural
mind.
20.
Yep.
Yeah. It's still prone, though.
It is prone.
Alright,
man.
gonna go. Is it difficult terrain moving through an allied space?
Yeah.
So
You
that's
can move here though, and it won't be.
Abuse the angles.
Yeah, you can abuse the angle.
So what was so it'd be like so 5, 10, 20. I'll get to there. 25 feet. And Sacred Flame.
Alright. Radiant damage, right? Not. It's an important roll.
Oh fuck, does that mean all the good damage rolls we've had so far have been halved?
Maybe.
Maybe.
And then I'll
We're so dead.
complete my turn.
No.
Oh, it kills it!
Oh, sweet. Hey, noticing it die, I look at it, gonna look at my hand and be like, oh, that was, that's pretty cool.
Quickly get the door open.
Yeah, can we get the fuck out of here now, please?
I'm just like breathing out smoke and wiping the soot off my face.
Now that that's taken care of, I flick the switch on the lock on the door and I walk out.
I grab the tail of the wormling and start dragging it.
I mean, Dardis is out here meditating.
In the rain.
Djokovic dashes out immediately once the door's open, seeing it so free.
Can we take the
Kisses
body
the
of the
ground.
wormling?
Or at least a souvenir, maybe some teeth.
Oh,
So,
Sven-
150
Sven- Sven's gonna go up to Vorag and like give him a solid smack on the shoulder, like, you bastard, don't be thinking you'll be going off before me.
hey, don't hit me so hard. I'm tender from the fire.
Who carries the dragon? 200.
Let me see. I just need to calculate how much I can pull.
Yeah, what's the pull push carry thing?
15. is the
Carry
maximum,
15,
times.
drag 30.
Oh, good fight.
Well, it's
Right.
probably within my. Yeah, it's definitely within my capacity to drag it.
Yeah. It's times the score, isn't it? Not the modifier.
Yeah.
So 30 times the score. Oh, yeah. We could probably both carry it between us.
Yeah. We'll drag it.
Both of you make athletic rolls. Well, no, actually, just Vorig make the athletic, but you have.
Alright. Whoop. Natural
Hey.
20.
Beautiful.
That's my third one. That's
Drag
crazy.
it out. Do we close the door?
Yep.
They left it open.
Oh, I collect my hand axe.
Nice. And you hand axe just as the door is closed, and you see a glow of fire within one of the statues of the dragons.
Ooh, close the door. Close. I go run outside. Close the door. Close the door. Let's go.
Close the door.
Close the door.
Kind of like
Oh,
brush myself off.
Close the door.
Some
not
host,
every day we kill a dragon, wormling.
beset upon by our host's gargoyles and then a wormling.
Like
What?
I said, eccentric wizard.
What an asshole! And I kind of shake my hand like up at the castle. You hear me, asshole?
Gargoyles and dragons. And a wizard my ass. That's a ghost if I've ever seen one.
Have you
Let's
ever
save
seen a
cursing him until
ghost?
we're off his
was-
ground.
Sven, you saw him playing the organ. No ghost could do that. Surely.
But was he really playing it?
Let's drag asses out of the courtyard and away from Castle Ravenloft. Then.
How? Where do we go now?
I want to go to the town.
I don't know, but I want to go to
Get away
sleep.
from
Me too.
Yeah, Vorg, I hit you with a cure wounds.
Oh, thank you. 6. Awesome. I am now in the doubles.
Good.
I'm now at level 1 HP. Legendary achievement.
I should very much like to not visit this place ever again.
Yeah, fuck
Yes,
that,
it
Joy.
is very unpleasant.
That wizard's a wanker.
Just go, yeah, just sit at my table, yeah, have my food, and then haha, I'm gonna laugh and just disappear, and then my gargoyle's gonna fuck you up.
Where are we looking on this map?
Yeah. Who the fuck does that?
What an
Oh,
eye! What a fucking.
I was
Oh,
wondering.
I'm really quite bothered by this.
Not very nice.
I am giving this place a 1-star on TripAdvisor.
Travago. Hotel Travago.
Where do we go from here?
I'd like to go to that town. I need to rest.
There
I'm
was
so exhausted.
that small little farming hamlet we crossed.
It was quite a ways away.
Could I make like a?
Where else are we gonna go?
If we maybe head towards the river, find a place to wash up, pitch camp.
Or maybe by that,
Yes, then
there was that gate, that other gate that we saw before we came to the castle. You'd pitch up there. I mean, what time is it at the moment? Are we able to discern the time?
It's very difficult without the sun in the sky with all those clouds. But you can make a nature check to, or survival to ascertain. Can't tell.
Could I make a survival to see if I remember if if I can cut through like the direction of the town, or see if I
Off a
know my
cliff.
north, south, east, and west. Oh, maybe.
We can
Hang
see
on,
from
before you make this roll,
Yeah.
can I just point out one?
Mm.
Is that in character we won't know the efficiency of the roll. So if you roll the incorrect direction, I feel like we have to stick with it and head in that direction, because you won't know if we're going the right way unless we actually get there.
There's only one way, the path.
I haven't said we should. I'm just kind of trying. He's just looking around to see if he kind of remembers or not.
Yeah, see if there's any options, and you're able to make a check for that, maybe an insight check or something. That's good. And you know this much: you're in an elevation of maybe 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet. So at the very least, you'd be going down a steep and treacherous mountain. And at the worst, there'd be terrain such as what this drawbridge extends across, caverns that disappear into. You could only guess how deep they are. So that's the real problem. Not that you can climb down, but you can only see a distance of about 50 to 100 feet at best. And beyond that, you don't even know if you're going to have to climb back up.
Okay. You kind of just can't see much through the fog and how treacherous this land is, and he kind of just gives up trying to see if there's any shortcuts and thinks it's best to stay in the path.
Pissed off. Let us hoof it back to town, I guess.
Yeah.
Are we
It's about 3 miles to some houses.
Are we just going to drag the dragon all the way back to town?
Aye, what else we gonna do with it?
What if you call the pumpkin Vorik? She seemed to like you. I doubt she must have left. She might have followed.
I mean, I highly doubt. I mean, we traveled quite a way.
It's hard to imagine how far we traveled.
How about we just pull a little bit away from the castle, and we'll skin the dragon and take out whatever else we need.
All right.
Agreed.
All right, who's moving?
Move us.
Okay. How far are we going?
How far can we go? What is our travel move speed?
About 4 miles an hour.
Oh,
4
sick.
miles an hour?
We're so fast.
Maybe half of that, but that's the pace that you're traveling. You're going downhill. It's a road.
I might be wrong, but I thought the traveling rules was something like you can move in 8 hours, a distance equal to miles of your movement speed divided by 10. But that seems really slow.
So that's 8 hours. You'd be moving 30 miles. 8 by 30 is about 3.5.
Divided by 20 since it's divided by 25 since we have a.
Yeah, we have the halfling and the dwarf.
Yep. So you're looking at about 3 to 4 miles, but this is country. It winds and switch back. So 3 miles is an hour is a fairly good estimate.
Okay.
Human average walking speed.
About 3 miles.
I'm getting like 3.2.
Which will put you an hour's walk back towards where those gates were previously.
All right.
There you go. That's the table from the Dungeon Master's Guide.
So yeah, that's about 1 mile-ish here. Around there.
Distance per day, distance per hour. Okay, yeah.
So maybe like here.
We'd be going slow because
we're lugging around a wormling corpse.
Yeah, the wormling course would be moving it slow, which would be 2 miles per hour.
Also, it's raining and the slope is treacherous and steep and slippery in spite of the massive carriage ride.
If it's a downhill slope, I wonder if we could use the wormling corpse as a
ride it.
You could, but there's no railings, and so pod slab check, then you will die. It'll be
I
a 1,000-foot drop.
We're far enough away. We should probably skin it and leave the body.
If we want.
You came close to death. Roll a d20.
Pardon?
Roll a d20. 1d.
Cool.
Is this for skinning it?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
18.
So, at what point are you going to skin it? When you get to the bottom of the mountain range, reach the crossroads? Before then, after the
When
bridge?
we can't see the castle at any given point.
I guess that's when you cross the bridge.
Like, can we not, like, if we're, like, over here, is this not cutting off vision from the castle?
Maybe temporarily, you know, you might be able to get into a spot where you deliberately can't see it, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's still commanding the countryside, but if you go here, then you're hidden. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna recommend we wait until we get to the river, because it's gonna be a fucking messy job skinning dragon.
Hey, what? So whatever. We got the halfling fella can clean us up with his magic.
Well, I don't like being used like that, but I suppose.
Hey, but if it was once stone, it could turn back to stone again.
Go proceed.
Sorry, I shouldn't interrupt, but continue with your conversation, but make the perception check.
Everyone? Or?
Yeah, but no, there's no longer necessary there, Anton. So, Anton, you had a thought, but it's briefly interrupted by the fact that everyone is so filled with adrenaline and cortisol. You're so on edge that you can't help but notice that there's a raven, or more than one raven, in the branches watching you. In fact, there's 7 ravens, one for each member of the party.
I know an omen when I see one.
Maybe we should keep going. Worry about the dragon later.
Should I shoot one?
I was having the same thought. I don't like them.
They've done nothing to bother us yet. Let them watch. Only curious
they're dead?
beasts.
Bothering me
fucking
plenty.
spooky and
Monsters.
that's bothering me.
What if they're that monster's pets and they're watching us?
Anton viciously mocks one of them.
Alright. The raven makes its saving throw.
If you were any uglier, you'd be a crow.
Nice crow's eyes.
What's the DC?
13.
Look so old, you're getting crow's eyes.
Alright. The crow senses the supernatural power that it's including, and it flies off. But they settle at a distance of about 200 feet away, so that they can still watch you. But I mean, hopefully you can't mock them from this distance.
Djokovic wants to take a pot shot.
I'd rather.
Oh, sorry. You
Go ahead. No, yeah.
Oh, I was aiming, so you can say stuff while I'm aiming.
Alright, I'd rather cut up the dragon here than lug it all the way around. I'm carrying this thing, not you.
Well, you've come this far. You've come this far.
Aye, but what if it, like, has a time limit before it goes back to stone? Like, and then it would, like, reset.
What if it doesn't?
And Djokovic fires at one of the ravens.
It's a disadvantage at this range, I expect.
I because I have sharpshooter. My full range is 350.
Beautiful.
And I'm just gonna do a normal shot. I don't want to do a spring load shot.
Magnificent.
And 4 damage to it.
The raven is taken out and hits the ground with a thud. Some 200 rest of them take off to the wing, pouring the murder, glaring
Well,
How are we doing
Djokovic,
on time?
death of their kin.
there were 7 ravens, one for each of us, and now one of them's dead.
wonder which one I've got for us.
It's time. And we shall see you all next week. Perhaps then we will decide. We will discuss which one that.
Oh,
Right on.
before you go, while everyone's here, it might be worth mentioning. Billy mentioned to me last week that he wants to get back into the Saturday game, and I told him to just ask you, Arctic, if there was still a spot since Rumbling didn't
Like this game?
end up playing. Yeah, this game.